the firm of Harris and Moran. Would you want that job, Danny, on the selection committee? The playoff is here.
Will you ever quit?
No! We want some more! We want some more! We want some more!
With Patrick Harris.
You smile.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football. Football's fun.
And Danny Moran.
You need a water break. Water is for cowards. Water makes you weak.
Dispensing sports justice. This is the firm of Harris and Moran. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. The Fan.
Hi, friends. It's a Thursday here on the firm of Harris and Moran. I am Patrick Harris. That to my left is Danny Moran. Happy to be with you on this great day.
That was weird.
Why? You not like my announcer voice?
No. My computer just went all weird on me. I'm assuming Dirt had to do the update.
Shame on me for thinking you were talking about what I was talking about.
No,
Shame on
your
me
announcer voice
for
is
paying
is there.
attention.
No, I was paying attention to you.
I love my announcer voice.
No, I mean
I should use it more often.
somebody should.
It's kind of like the frozen tundra.
Is it?
No, it's not that nice. I never understand why people like this stupid voice.
I mean, NFL Films' voice is a great voice.
It's just so iconic. I think that's what it is, honestly. You just have to get to a point where people have heard your voice so much that it's like, man, that's a good voice.
Let's say it's John Facenda.
and yeah, I think that's right. And they like this guy.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
See, you know that voice. Beef bouillon. You know, you can get at that because you know it. It takes time. You know, pow. I'm staring at Paul Feinbaum. Do you think if aliens came down to Earth and Paul Feinbaum was the radio show they hooked into, do you think they would just turn around and leave?
I mean, yeah. Also be like, shave your head, dude.
Yeah, man. Just quit hanging on, dude. Like I'm scratchy right now, and this is probably about as long as I let it get. Because I look like his head. That's what my head looks like.
That's just let it go.
Just let it go. Well, I think it's a generational thing. That's the situation now. Generationally, in the past, even as late as the 90s, like let's take for example Larry David and George Costanza from our fine producer Jeffrey Rust's favorite show, Seinfeld. Well, one of his favorite shows. That obviously part of the joke is that Costanza pulls all these hot women. But Larry David and Costanza still have the friar tuck because I think for the longest time it was like acceptable. You know, it was like, okay, that you're bald, but you have to have some hair. I don't know when it came to the point where it was like comfortable in a professional world to be bald. Because the CEO,
who made it okay?
Like
was
the
it
CEO,
Michael Chiklis?
I don't know. The CEO of Mercedes in Germany is like looks like Paul Feinbaum, and it's like, well, I can't shave my head.
Yeah, who's the first like truly famous? Is there a famous news person that let it go? That accepted defeat?
No, because Tom Brokaw, Peter Jennings.
That's what I mean. All them.
Those guys and Ted Koppel. Those guys probably wore rugs.
Oh, I mean, Marv Albert did.
Yeah,
that thing was talking during games.
Yeah,
that was bad.
There's still guys that wear rugs.
We saw the guy at the airport.
Oh, dude, that was like a mullet rug.
That thing was glorious. I was like, I looked over at Harris and I was like, yo. And he's like, what? And I go, check out the rug.
I wonder if it's when
fox fur.
I wonder if it's when media finally leaned into like more black people in the media.
Well,
because black guys have a lot of black guys have bald heads and
you're
they look
right,
beautiful.
But also there's those that won't let go, like LeBron James and the most recent. Have you heard the most recent who won't let go?
With Jaylen Brown?
Well, I mean that's in the same vein but worse.
Oh,
a coach that you love.
It can't be Shaka Smart.
No, it's college though.
Rick?
Marcus Freeman.
Oh, really? Is he going?
Oh, it's gone.
Dude, he's like my age.
Bomani Jones called it out the other day. He said, come on home, bud. Come on home. He goes, there's more paint than hair.
Really?
Yeah. We don't ever get the super, super close-ups like we do in the NBA. But, yeah, apparently Marcus is...
Everything is from the front because his front, I mean, that's a good-looking man.
Oh, it is.
That is a good-looking man.
But he said,
I hope my daughters come home with a man like that.
Right? And that, what Bomani said, and this is true. This is true.
Bomani's been bald for a long time.
Yes, but Bomani I think all of us here had we are all blessed with the same luxury. We all have well-shaped heads.
I am very lucky that when I went bald,
No
I do-
lumps.
I do not look like a phallic symbol.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
fantastic.
There's none of that going on. Which LeBron. I can't remember who was on the show with him. They said LeBron looks like the cartoon character. You said one lump or two, and you hit him over the head with a hammer, and you get the big Tweety Bird lumps. So LeBron can't let it go. Michael Jordan, perfect bald head.
Yeah, the YouTube chat says Michael Jordan, stone cold, had a great bald head. I never liked it when The Rock went bald. I always liked him with the little bit of hair.
Well, you mean the six head?
The little tuft.
I mean, that thing was
I know.
way up
But that
there.
was like his look for a long
But
time.
he does kind of have a cone head.
I mean, if we want to go back to the OGs, I mean, you got Telly Savalas staring you right in the face.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think. I was like, is there anybody in news that is
Like not sports,
Yeah.
news.
Is there a bald famous anchorman?
I
Because we had Joe Donlin here for a while. He went to Chicago, but great head of hair.
um,
Jeff Gianola? No, but he didn't let it go all the way.
he's not bald.
I mean, the top was.
Yeah.
Becker let it go, but he sports.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna go. It's like one of the NBC black dudes.
Has Lemon let it go, right?
Who?
Don Lemon?
I don't know who that is.
CNN. I thought he shaved it off at one point in
I'm
time.
I'm not sure. That's probably why everybody loves to say, "Oh, you're on radio. You have a face for radio."
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like.
We're not far away from cringy joke season, unless we're already there, right? With the holidays. Oh, you're gonna have a good holiday? I guess. I gotta go to my mother-in-law's.
Byron Pitts on Nightline, but like you said, African American. So, yeah, there's not a lot of balds in the news space.
Yeah. Maybe I'll buck that trend. Maybe
Sports certainly.
Maybe I'll leave sports and go be like the lead anchor at CNN.
To be honest, there's more women
Do you
who
just-
are bald than men in the news space.
Probably. You're probably right.
No, I'm there's like right out of the way. CBS Philadelphia has Aziza Shuler, who's just bald.
Do you think I could just roll into CNN and be like, "Yo, me, you want me? Let's do it."
I mean, looking at CNN's cast, yeah, probably.
I don't know if I'd be very good on TV. I don't think I would like TV.
It's fun. It's different.
I initially went to school to do broadcast journalism, and I always wanted to be, Stuart Scott or Dan Patrick or SVP, somebody like that on SportsCenter, because that was like in my growing up, that was the coolest job in the world. There was nothing cooler in the world than Charlie Steiner or Keith Olbermann or Linda Cohen or Kenny Mayne or any of those dudes. Nothing was cooler in young Patrick Harris's life
SportsCenter?
than hosting SportsCenter, especially if you were like the Friday night guy.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I mean,
that was huge.
Stu and Rich.
I would try to think of like what's gonna be my tagline. What's my cool as the other side of the pillow?
Yeah.
You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And then I started to age and was like, I don't know if TV's your jam, amigo.
Nah, TV's fun.
I'm lucky I'm on the YouTubes.
Yeah, no, TV's fun. It's more structured, that's for sure. Like that you don't get to. That's the cool thing about radio is you get the free flow, but TV's fun.
Yeah.
It's just,
You just have to be so much more polished.
I mean, you don't.
Maybe not for what you do.
I mean,
Maybe not in sports.
Yeah.
Especially team derived. Like a solo team later at night, you're probably fine. But like I got Screaming A on the TV in front of me right now. I mean, he has to be somewhat polished, even though he rants and says crazy things, but it's in like a polished way.
I mean, I've done those shows before too. Obviously not like First Take, but it's not that different. But it's. I think the only thing you have to be truly polished for is if you're doing like news, and even then, like I've got a teleprompter. I've worked off that plenty of times. I'm doing ad reads and stuff like that. Like that's probably the hardest thing, is shifting from doing the thing to brought to you by, and I ham it up. I always have, but those things are different for sure.
Can't count on much, but you can count on hamming it up.
Yeah, 100%. It's always weird. Like Joe Simons is incredible with that stuff. He's broadcast trained.
He's a
and all.
pretty boy.
It is. And
Go
then,
Cougs,
that's a Coug journalism student right there.
Edward R. Murrow. Are you familiar with Edward R. Murrow?
Indeed.
Smokes cigarettes on TV.
He went to what did it used to be? Washington College.
Washington State College.
Yeah. So that was when Murrow was there. I think it was right. It changed like right after him.
Peter Jennings was still smoking cigarettes in the '90s on TV.
Yeah, wasn't that long ago.
That's so crazy.
Just Ron Burgundy, that thing. Man. I mean, Ron Burgundy's character is Peter Jennings.
Is it really?
Look at him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is Peter Jennings, Baxter and getting in fights in the back alley?
I mean, if I told you that about a single national news anchor, would you not believe it?
It's Dan Rather, Ted Koppel, Peter Jennings,
Howard Cosell.
Like they all get in a fight. Is everyone scared of Peter Jennings? Is he the guy that whoops ass?
Probably. I mean, he was still ripping heaters on air.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
It's like getting in a coach fight. You see Dan Campbell coming, and you see
I feel
McDermott coming. You're like, I'm good.
I feel like dang, I just forgot his name. Tom Brokaw. I feel like Tom Brokaw, who's the best looking of them, in my opinion. I feel like Tom Brokaw would have been the guy, the sneaky guy that lands the left hook. Like nobody knows he's a lefty. And
Also,
he goes, bam.
The rules. No punches to the
no
face.
To the face. No to the face.
The moneymaker.
Well, because Peter Jennings had that I'm Peter Jennings.
Oh yeah, I mean,
this is the news.
Did the arm tuck and the shoulder turn.
To where Tom Brokaw was like, ladies love me. I don't know if the ladies loved him.
But
He's a good-looking dude. Though.
It is weird to think about. Like
I met Tom Brokaw once.
Oh no, kidding, where at?
Spoke at Wazoo.
Oh, okay.
At the Edward R. Murrow Symposium.
There you go. It is weird though to think about all the idiosyncrasies of like you said, the little I'm Peter Jennings and the little arm turn, like the stuff we made fun of in Anchorman of when they do the side by side montages and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's right, we actually used to do that. Like.
Everybody has like their thing. Like Bill Clinton used to always have his thumb on his fist, and he would like point with his thumb.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I'd pay to see Jesse Waters and Anderson Cooper in an Anchorman fight club. That would
Does
be great
anybody
from the
win
text
there?
line. That'd be great. I have a feeling Anderson Cooper might whoop that ass. Jesse Waters is a little bit of a pretty boy who talks a lot, and I don't know if he can back it.
I mean, they both are.
Well, they're in media. Of course they are. They're both equally. I'm not talking about their views and policies.
No. I'm saying
on.
like
Anderson gets spicier than Jesse Waters, though.
Trying to think like who would like actually throw.
Plus, Anderson Cooper has to do that New Year's show with Andy Cohen, and if I had to do a New Year's show with Andy Cohen, I'd be ready to go.
I believe he's Gloria Vanderbilt's son.
That is true. That is true. He is.
Yeah.
He is. He does come from the lineage.
Do you think old Wolf Blitzer still got a little sneaky right?
Oh, I bet you Wolf you don't mess with.
Yeah, especially back in the day.
I think even today you don't mess with.
I think Wolf Blitzer F's stuff up.
Yeah.
I bet you Wolf was like a Golden Gloves boxer back in the day.
I bet you he drinks a lot of scotch.
I bet you with like he's got an eyedropper that just drops a little thing of water in it to air it out to open up the effervescence of scotch.
Just trying to,
he's got scotch that's older than him.
Scotch.
Scotchy, scotch. Oakley Dokley, we got a great show for you guys today. Thursday Night Football is where we'll begin today, but there's a lot of stuff to get to. We'll talk some more about the Oregon Ducks. I want to take a peek at that defense, as we've talked about how that defense is kind of missing sometimes some like explosive plays, but the stats might view a little differently than that. We'll talk a little Blazers as they'll take on the Kings today. And should you let your quarterback make decisions when it comes to hiring a head coach? 10 toes down at 12:15, like we always do on Thursday. Get those questions in on the YouTube or the fan text line. But let's get into it. I think this is the game that I'm the most excited about all season long in the NFL. Rams at Seahawks tonight. You can hear it right here on the Fan. We'll go to Seattle, 105.1 The Fan.
or we're spending a whole segment on it?
I have it on the sheet for 10 toes down.
Okay.
I do have it on the sheet.
That's a banger.
It is a banger.
That's a banger.
It is a banger. We might have a secret weapon.
We're fine.
We are fine.
We're fine.
Let's put it that way. We are fine. We'll get to that at 10 toes down. At 12:15, get some of them questions in. 503-864-6326. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. Also, shout out on the YouTubes. YouTube.com/1051 The Fan. Lot to get to this hour. We'll get into some mostly NFL here, but I'd like to have a conversation about the refs as well, and that might slide over into some other sports as well because, boy, it seems like a rough thing these days. But let's get right to it. There's a big football game tonight up in Seattle, and you can hear all the action right here on 1080 The Fan, 105.1, home of the Seahawks. Holy catfish. No primetime today. Sorry to disappoint you, but the Seahawks game will be on. And I don't know.
Rotmus continues, huh?
I don't know if I am just drinking my Seahawk Kool-Aid because I've been really high on this team all year. But this is the first game so far of the year that it's like not just must-watch TV, but I am fascinated to see how this goes down. Because you get a slow build, the first 6 to 10 weeks of the season. You're still trying to figure stuff out. Somehow the Packers lose to the Panthers, and you're like, what? That doesn't make sense. But then the Panthers rattle off some win. You're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Now we're kind of like eat it or lose it situation. And I think for the Seahawks, there's a lot on the line in this game, more than just the number one overall seed, I think, in the division. I think it's the narrative around Sam Darnold. And I think it's the narrative around Mike McDonald, too, that is this team ready to take the step? Because the average NFL fan takes a look at Matt Stafford and Sean McVay and goes, oh, I'll take them all day. Now, to be fair, I think they should. But I also think this Seahawk team is in a position kind of flying under the radar where I do think on any given day they can beat any team.
I mean, yeah, they can, certainly. But I think the difference is that with Stafford and McVay, they've done it. Like, that's the thing is that, with Darnold, it's seeing ghosts. With McDonald, it's like, well,
seeing ghosts with the Rams too. At that,
yeah, it's one of those things. It's that it's a lot. And this is an adage across sports. You trust what you know. Like when the Chiefs are kind of spiraling and the Eagles are spiraling, they've earned the benefit of the doubt, and that's just the reality of it. And that's sports in a nutshell. Is that the reason why stories are not because the expected happened. It's the unexpected. Because the expected is based on what we've seen from Matt Stafford, Sean McVay, and this Rams team that they will win. That they are the best team in the NFC. I don't think anybody's really arguing that. Now, if you want to say the Seahawks are right there, you can make that argument.
I'm with you. The Rams for me are the odds-on favorite for the Super Bowl in any conference. I was talking with Jake, our digital media guy out there, who before the show, and he was kind of saying it too, that we both believe that the Rams are the easiest money to place.
Well, like here's how
if I had to feel the most confident, it would be on the Rams to win the whole thing. But that doesn't mean they win necessarily tonight.
No, but one of the things I've wanted to do a lot more of is ask you why. Because I think the old adage is if you ask why 3 times, it gets you down to the crux of your belief, whatever it is.
My kids do that, and I lose frequently. But it is true. I've played that experiment before because the third why you start to go, well, because I said so.
Yeah. Because then you start getting to a spot of like, why do I believe that?
I know.
And I would say with the Rams, I look at this and go, I don't start there. The question I ask is, what is their weakness? Not what is their strength. Because for me, when you're talking about the best of the best, you don't start with the strengths because you know that when you're great, what do you have?
That's the old Michael Scott line from The Office. What are your 3 strengths? Well, let me start by telling you my 3 weaknesses.
But I mean, that's the thing is like when you are great, things are great. So it's easier to find like where the weaknesses are. When if I ask you the Rams, what is their weakness? It's that their quarterback's old. And that anything could happen to him. Outside of that,
their quarterback is old. In comparison to the Super Bowl they won, less name brand on the back of the jersey. Doesn't mean they're not as good.
No.
But that team was like a gun for hire team.
Yes, loaded to the gills.
I mean, they had their own guys, but then they were like...
a lot of one-year guys.
Hey, I like you. Why don't you come over here? Hey, I like you. Why don't you come? The Bucs did that too with Brady. And I think that's what's the most surprising about this Rams team is it felt like they mortgaged the future for that Super Bowl.
And somehow they didn't.
And somehow they didn't. That's a testament to Sean McVay. That's a testament to the Hall of Famer and Matt Stafford, no doubt about it. But you're right. I don't know what the weaknesses are. Maybe I can argue outside of Nakua, I don't know the real threat because
I mean, Devontae before the hamstring went was, pretty damn good.
agreed, but I'm going to live in the world that I'm going to assume Devonta doesn't play today.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to either. But
I would be a little surprised. I mean, who knows? It's a big game. To where I will take Shaheed and JSN as a 1-2 punch any day.
Sure, but I don't think it's a weakness for the Rams because you also have...
I'm stretching for it, too.
Yeah, I know. And, you've got Kyron Williams who does everything for that team. You've got, 5 tight ends on this team. And that seemingly come up with play after play after play. And Puka is... I mean, JSN's been the best receiver in the NFL. Puka's right behind him.
And I think when you compare these two teams, when I ask you what's the weakness of Seattle, the first thing that comes to your brain is Sam Darnold. Even though I think Sam's had a good year, he's trying to figure out that turnover situation that he's had. And there are times when that offense really, really just clicks and they can put 40 on anybody. And then I watch them against the Colts. Good defense. Underrated defense on the Indianapolis Colts. Field goals. 6 field goals. This is what we're doing.
And Sam had chances. We watched that game in the airport where it was and it was funny. You were like, man, he's not doing anything. And then I think he hit JSN on 3 straight passes. No, it was JSN then Shaheed twice.
That Shaheed one, I was like, nah, I'll eat those.
Yeah.
I'll eat those words.
It was 3 straight passes right after you said it, too. And I was like, well, but then he threw the ball behind him. And it would have been a touchdown.
Would have been a touchdown.
And you're like, okay.
And I think that's where this game will boil down to is...
But to that point, Sam Darnold this year is completing 67% of his passes, 3,400 yards, 22 touchdowns. This is the kicker, though, and this is the bad game is kind of throws this off because let's just give him 1 interception in that 4-interception game. If he only had 1 interception in that game, he would have 22 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Tua has 14 and got benched. Yeah. And so he has 11 total.
He has 11 total, but again, 4 of those came in that one game.
Sure. And I think that's where this game boils down to is the Rams just play their game. The Seahawks have to be on their game.
Yes.
That the Rams, you've seen the Rams in some games. Look at Carolina, for example. That game, they were not playing well. On the road, in Carolina, across the country. That game gets into a shootout. The Rams are not playing well, and they're still in that game.
There.
Now, I've seen the Seahawks in that game as well against the Rams. And so they have that ability too. But at the end of that game, the Niners are a great example too at the beginning of the year. You don't have the thought in your brain Seattle can do this. Or not that they can, that they will.
Yeah.
To where if the Rams...
It's not a negative, but it's also not a positive either.
If the Rams are down in this game and Matt Stafford has the ball, I'm like, he's going to do this.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it differs. Seattle has to be on it. Their run game needs to be established. I know you aren't a big fan of the run game in Seattle, and I don't blame you. This might be me being around too many Seahawks fans.
Less of the running backs, more of the offensive line because, Cross is going to be out again tonight. So
totally.
it's one of those things.
Ooh, side real quick. Bigger loss, Cross or Adams?
Cross.
I think so too.
Yeah.
The O-line.
Yeah.
Receivers are receivers.
Yeah, and Sam, and Stafford makes everybody look good. That's what he does. And with Sam, neither of these guys are mobile, but what's been Sam's bugaboo his whole career? It's guys getting to him and what he does when the pressure's in his face.
He makes bad choices.
Yeah. Look, it's easy for me to say, yeah, come on, dude, make the play. But it's like, yeah, that's Jared Verse coming off the edge. Good luck.
Yeah. If you're Seattle, I think you have to get to Stafford.
That's always the case, but he also has one of the quickest releases in football.
I know. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. That's why he's been doing this for so long. I never thought in my entire life I would sit here on a Thursday and tell you that the best quarterback in the NFL playing right now is Matt Stafford. It just doesn't, as the YouTube chat points out, Hall of Famer Matt Stafford still just doesn't sound right to my brain. Look, the kid always had an arm. He always had an arm.
Just kind of thinking about this real quick. I know this is a bit of a tangent. Outside of Burrow, Luck got hurt. Cam's out of the league. Yeah. Stafford's the best number 1 overall pick quarterback in the last 25 years.
Other than Burrow.
Stafford's better than Burrow.
Career-wise
Yeah,
so
that's-
far,
that's what I mean, like,
yeah.
so-
But talent-wise, I'll take Joe Burrow.
Oh, sure. But these are your quarterbacks. They're taking number one overall since 2001. Vic, Carr, Palmer, Eli, Alex Smith, can't even say it, Stafford, Bradford, Cam, Luck, Jameis, Goff, Baker, Kyler, Burrow, Lawrence, Young.
Yeah, it's Matt. Big time.
It doesn't sit in your head that way though, does
It's
it?
Matt, Joe, and a large drop.
Because before that,
You
Couch.
say Lawrence?
Yeah, before Vic, it's Couch, so he's easily the best since '99. But before that, it was Manning, Bledsoe, George, Aikman, Testaverde, Elway.
Yeah, that's
So
it's a nice route there.
Yeah, I mean, you get a Vinny Testaverde in there who's like he was good, but and Jeff George in there who was good. But I mean, you've got Elway, Aikman, Bledsoe, Manning. That's pretty good.
Another storyline coming out of this game is some comments that Puka Nacua made about referees. I'd like to have a conversation about referees and also, hey, you know how many times I hear an athlete and their brother do something stupid? Can we just tell your brothers to just go away? Paging Patrick Mahomes, can you tell your brother to just go away? We'll do that next, but there's Rusty with sports.
This is the Firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Langen Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course is always the driest around. Download the Langen Farms app today to get all the latest news and specials. First on The Fan, the Seahawks indeed host the Rams tonight to start Week 16 in the NFL. 5:15 kick on Prime Video. Both teams 11-3, but LA currently owning the tiebreaker due to their Week 11 win at SoFi. Tackle Charles Cross out for the Seahawks. Wide receiver Devontae Adams doubtful for the Rams. Seattle are 1.5-point favorites. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 3 o'clock, immediately following the Fan Happy Hour. Blazers back on the court tonight after a bit of a soft spot in the schedule. They host the Kings for a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP, 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday ruled out with a calf strain. Domantas Sabonis out for Sacramento, while Dennis Schroeder is a game-time decision. The Blazers are 8.5-point favorites. CBS Sports reporting quarterback Bo Pribula has told the Missouri staff he intends to enter the transfer portal. He also does not plan to play against number 19 Virginia in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. And on the diamond, Team USA announcing AL Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal will join Paul Skeens at the top of the team's rotation for next year's World Baseball Classic. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, coming up next, we'll get into a little playoff situation scenarios as we get into the weekend. Not necessarily picking games, but just how wild it can be. I thought I saw something like the Packers have over 5,000 different ways to get into the NFL playoffs. Something crazy like that from a math standpoint, which is the most all time. I don't know. Maybe I'll look that up. But kind of stemming from this Seahawks-Rams game tonight on Thursday Night Football that you can catch right here on the Fan Sports Network. Close up some stuff from the last seggy. Some text coming in, 503-864-6326. I'd argue that the weakness in Seattle isn't Sam Darnold. It's overall consistency. Darnold is a big piece to it, but he's also the most visible piece to it. That's from our boy Rufio. And I think that's a great point. I think that's kind of the offense on a whole is just getting that consistency. And then this other text, Matt Stafford was a 5-star recruit, put out of high school, the top overall draft pick, and an NFL Hall of Famer. He's one of the few quarterbacks who's lived up to the hype at every level. And I wonder if when we look back at Matt Stafford, and I think we're starting to finally give him his flowers, if we start to say to ourselves, that was a pretty damn good quarterback. He played on some really bad Lions teams. Made Calvin Johnson a Hall of Famer. I mean, you could argue Calvin Johnson made himself a Hall of Famer, but it didn't hurt having Matt Stafford.
I mean, the two most productive wide receiver seasons in the history of football are quarterbacked by Matthew Stafford.
Exactly.
It's Cooper Kupp and Calvin Johnson.
And that's got to stand for something.
Yes.
Cooper Kupp's a great wide receiver. Calvin Johnson, maybe I can argue, is the greatest from a talent standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, size, ability.
Like the Aaron Rodgers argument.
Yes, 100%. I mean, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice are the top 2 wide receivers in NFL history.
But body type? Ooh,
I mean,
give me Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin, 100%. But, you know, Stafford might be the closest thing that we have to LeBron in football. In the sense of
start to finish greatness?
Always from high school on. Always a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now, football's harder to deliver in as an individual than is in basketball. A singular player can have much more impact. But, I mean, he's got a 5,000-yard passing season. He has multiple 40-touchdown passing seasons. Like, the numbers when it's all said and done for Stafford are going to be bonkers.
You know what's really funny about that comparison? Where does Matt Stafford play now?
L.A.
Where does LeBron play?
L.A.
Boom. If you ever wonder,
and he went from a upper Midwest team in Cleveland and Detroit to,
and is Matt Stafford really playing any differently than he did in Detroit?
No,
not really. He's got better coaching, better weapons for sure, but as far as how he executes, how he looks on the field, seems kind of the same guy to me. I don't know, and that's why markets do matter, but that's also why just the reputation of some clubs matter. You know, like we're talking about Sam Darnold here too. Remember, he played at the Jets in Carolina, not gold standard organizations there.
Yep.
And so it does matter the perception of you when you get there. You know, if Dan Marino never gets to that Super Bowl in his sophomore year, if Charles Barkley never gets to an NBA Finals with the Suns, we think about their careers completely differently. And probably not value them as much as we do because at least they got to a final. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
To where if Marino is just out there balling out all the time, but never makes the playoffs, never goes to a Super Bowl.
It's the empty stats now.
Exactly. And you're just like, oh, okay, cool, dude. He threw the rock around. Who gives an S? But we give Dan Marino his flowers. A lot of people, dude, there's still people out there today that think Dan Marino is the best quarterback of all time.
I mean,
from just brain, arm, the whole situation.
It's
So where you are matters. And Miami is not Detroit. So there is a benefit there. That's a large market. But it's crazy to think that we just sat around and just ignored Matt Stafford because the Lions were a dumpster fire. He must be a dumpster fire too. Well, of course he has a ton of yards. He has to throw the ball because they're down by 30 every game.
And that starts the whole argument around like the Trevor Lawrences of the world or the Tuas of the world of like, well, you know.
But
it's like it's one of those things, and that's why, you know, we talked about this yesterday, the idea of cutting bait, and you don't want them to go somewhere else and end up looking good because now you look like a dummy. But we can pivot and talk looking about dummies though.
Yeah, you want to pivot and talk about dummies?
Because we've been teasing it. Let's get on the old Puka Nacua of it all.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll slide some playoff scenarios to tomorrow as we look ahead to the weekend in the NFL. So yeah, let's get into this Puka Nacua story. Referees, his brother. You know, when it comes to referees, there's a couple other situations in other sports going on as well. We'll get to that next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan. Coming up in the hour number deuce, we'll get into some Oregon Duck chatter. Did you guys know Oregon's playing a football game this weekend?
Nah.
Ducks got a football game this weekend. We'll get into that. And can college football actually tell the NFL no? Plus, a quarterback wants to make a choice. And I'm curious as to when you should allow them to make a choice. Plus, we'll have web gems. But we'll finish out the final hour here on this Seahawk Rams game tonight. Again, you can hear right here on the Fan. Puka Nacua came out after the game last week and had some quotes with Aiden Ross on a live stream. He said, quote, "The refs are the worst. Some of the rules aren't. These guys are lawyers. They want to be on TV too. You don't think he's texting his friends in the group chat like, yo, you guys just saw me on Sunday Night Football. That wasn't PI, but I called it." Some scathing words to say about the NFL referee system. And it's such a weird spot for me because me personally, I have to live in the world where this is all legitimate. For me personally, I cannot go down the rabbit hole of the thought of rigging games, setting things up, blaming the refs all the time. They don't know what they're doing. But this narrative is getting louder and louder and louder. And some examples I will use of recent would be Ime Udoka of the Houston Rockets. A couple nights ago said it was the worst officiated game he's ever seen in his life. And I'll say Chris Finch last night from the Timberwolves, he was caught on a hot mic saying, "You missed 2 bleeping calls and you know it." Now, the question I'll ask you, Danny, before we get into Puka Nacua's stupid brother, is this a legitimate thing, or is this something we're making up? Like Chiefs haters. Oh, it's rigged. They just want the Chiefs. They just want Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I can't live in that world because it would shatter everything I believe in.
Well, there is like psychology that goes behind this stuff. Like the Lakers' free throw rate has historically been higher. Now you can say, well, Hack-a-Shaq, and then you had Kobe and you had LeBron. It's like, well, yeah, but it's also
Pau Gasol was no slouch in the paint either.
No, but
neither was Kareem.
There are things that come with that of being a marquee franchise. Like there's been research done on the Yankees strike zone, and like it exists. It's psychology.
It's natural human biases. We just got done talking about how none of us realize Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer and the dude's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, without a question. Like it's not even a debate. He's going to walk right into Canton. But again, it's about there's some narrative and there's some psychology there at play. As it pertains to the NFL's been much better about this. When refs have gotten calls wrong or gotten procedures wrong, they get suspended, and it's announced by the league. There's also, and this is across all sports, there's understanding the psychology of how you talk to refs and umpires. Like
how that kid in the Michigan-Ohio State game did not get ejected.
Some guys have more patience.
Is beyond my imagination.
But it also, maybe he,
wasn't wrong.
So here's what I'll say. When it pertains to the NBA, there is a sliding scale of referees. From Zach Zarba at the top to Scott Foster at the very bottom. Zarba, to most people, is the best ref in the NBA. He's also long experienced now. So is Scott Foster. Zach Zarba, I have been on the floor and heard him talking to a player. My bad, I got that one wrong. That matters.
Humility.
That carries a lot of weight. Where a guy like Scott Foster's thumping his chest, don't talk to me like that, and like
tossing players out for no reason in big games.
And look, you can pull the data on it. If you're a road team, you want Scott Foster. Because he favors you.
He favors the road team.
Historically through his career.
You would think he would favor the home team.
This is why they call him the extender.
Huh.
Because he does have a slight nudge, more so than almost anybody else over that time period, of favoring road teams. And there are all these trends and biases. Like there are refs in the league that Zach Zarba is a guy who is not a heavy whistle guy. I will say, though, he reffed a game earlier this year where he was the crew chief. He had 2 very young officials. It was a train wreck because you get young officials. And young officials, you know what they do? I got to earn my respect. I got to stand on business. I got to do this, and this. No. And this is the thing across any game in sports, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, hockey, whatever it is. Consistency. As long as you're consistent as an individual and consistent in your game, most players, most coaches aren't going to care. They may Draymond Green may bitch and moan because that's what he does.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you call a foul on one end, call it on the other. If you throw a flag on one team, you throw it on the other. Like, you have a threshold for everything, and it doesn't change. One of my biggest gripes in the NBA is that you call things tight until the final 2 minutes, and then you let them play.
I know, let them play the whole time.
And I'm like, what are we doing
game,
here?
Same game. Well, and then it hurts the casual NBA fan like me, who's like, well, I'll just tune in with like 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter because that's when it only matters anyway.
And then,
or I'll just watch playoffs.
When's the last time you saw a flag thrown on a Hail Mary?
A long time.
It doesn't happen, and guys beat the crap out
I mean,
of each
that's
other.
a fumble scrum right there. Like, what's punches under the scrum.
Guys are being. It's not even just holding or PI. Guys are being tackled in midair.
Do you think could I make an argument? I hate the term devil's advocate, so I don't want to say that. But can I make this just popped in my head? Can I make the argument though that in today's technology, today's coverage, we're just seeing it more and can expose it more?
That's certainly a part
like
of it.
strike zones is my greatest example. I mean, there are some atrocious umpires. CB Buckner is going
Buckner
blind.
and Hernandez
he has to be going blind. There are some really, really bad calls. And sometimes there's calls where guys miss it, and they'll acknowledge it. But I wonder if there's a little bit of that as well.
It feeds into it, for sure. But it's also about the consistency. Like in the NFL, where the NFL has done good, where the NBA has not, is that, you have the long-term, reigning NFL refs that end up being crew chiefs. I mean, Ed Hockley was the guy for a while. His kid, is it Stephen Hockley is now in the league? Like you have
Sean.
Sean, is that what it is?
Sean
I think
Hockley.
it starts with an S. That's what I can remember. But like, you have experience, and you do these things to kind of bring guys up, and you bring them into the fold, and you train them up, and they work their way up through the ranks. You don't just come in the league as a top college official to the NFL and become a white hat.
No, you don't.
You have to work your way up. You have to umpire. You have to be a side judge. You have to be a back judge. You have to do all of the things in order to get there. But where the NBA failed was, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, there was a massive gap of the old guys left.
And there wasn't enough of the new guys.
And they did a very poor job in training. Across sports, I think you're right. The data and the exposure plays a part in it. But also there's been inconsistencies across sports. And that's something where I think we focus too much on always getting the call right, where I think we need to focus significantly more on the relationships. And I know, because at least for me, when I played, and even when I refed high school basketball and high school football, I was a guy who didn't blow a whistle or throw a flag. That's because that's how I wanted to play the game. And I would have coaches, hit me with, throw that flag. And then as soon as the play got over, like let's say it's a toss to the left, and I'm a side judge on the right-hand side. And, the right tackle's holding the guy. And it's like, the ball's clearly gone. I'll get it done with the play, and I'll go to the coach. Coach, do you want me to throw that flag? Because if I throw that flag, we're going to be here all day.
Yeah,
He wasn't getting over there. Come on. And I'll usually get a, you're right. But like that, it's about communication. It's about relationships. It's about spirit of the law, not letter of the law. Mm-hmm. And I think if we operate, because I think part of what you're talking about, the data and the visibility applies so much to letter of the law. And I think one of the biggest things that TV networks and commissioners need to do a better job of, because it is explaining the difference, the spirit of law versus letter of the law. But they'll never do it, because if they go out there and say it, then they're held accountable.
Right. You leave yourself the out point.
Mm-hmm.
You leave yourself room for error. Yep.
Hand out fines, and hey, you know what? We're really proud of our officials. We work really hard on it. Our referee unions are dedicated, and
we'll go back and look at the tape and make adjustments where we need to.
Yes, and they will never, ever, ever address it publicly, because it opens up Pandora's box.
Does Samson Nakua know this dude whose car he stole?
Adu Thero? I hope so.
Why do athletes have idiot family members around them?
Oh, all of them.
Absolutely all of them. So Samson apparently played collegiately at Utah and BYU. It's a common theme there. And spent time in training camp with the Colts and the Saints, but was suspended for a game by the UFL in April for slapping a fan during an altercation following a loss. Excuse me. He also had to participate in community service. You stole a car? What is this, Rick Vaughn?
It's just
so strange. Like
you hope this is a thing where, it's a misunderstanding.
My brother's in the news this weekend, so you know what I'm going to do? Get arrested.
I mean, look around, and whether it's family members or family adjacent members, whether it's John Morant.
We keep bringing up Ja because he's a great example right now.
His dad,
just the wrong people around you.
His dad's hammered at every game.
Yeah.
Jackson Mahomes,
dapping up players like he's known them for 30 years.
Yeah, it's like,
oh, KD, I knew you since you was a little kid. No, you didn't, man. You did not know him at all.
Just go down the list of guys.
Oh yeah, Jackson Mahomes. Woof.
It's not just family members. It's significant others.
Yeah.
It's the Wags world.
Matt Stafford.
But yeah, like
his wife's controversial. Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yeah. As Brittany Mahomes.
Brittany Mahomes. Yep.
Go down the list, man. Like the celebrity.
Ava Longoria.
Tony Parker.
Well, she's not controversial. She's just hot.
Yeah. No, it's also Tony. What are you doing, buddy? Poor Brent Barry.
Although good for you, Brent Barry.
I mean,
did he wife swap that? Didn't he wife swap that?
I don't think so.
No, I thought he wife swapped
No,
that.
Tony Parker cheated on.
Well, I know that.
Brent Barry's wife.
Well, I know, but I didn't know if there was an old repay the debts.
Yeah, no. I try to avoid all of those things, but that.
But like those old was it the Yankees pitchers in the '70s that swapped families?
Yeah, they traded families.
God, just wow.
Can't have mine. I like mine.
The reality show of all of this is just gross. But yeah, it's just of all of the things, because Puka's wrapped up in this, but not only the ref stuff, but there's also another thing that came out of that stream, and then his brother, and it's like,
you think Puka's going to get some calls tonight in the game? I sure don't.
He might get an OPI.
Yeah, right.
He might get held like a mother and ain't going to be a flag.
Yeah.
But that comes back to relationships, man.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get back to relationships.
Yeah,
I know that sounds weird, but we really do.
I doubt there will be a ref in this game that refed the game that Nakua is speaking of. But that doesn't mean, hey, I don't work on primetime, but Isaac Rupp is my friend. And if Isaac Rupp is interviewing a guest that I have before and was a jerk, I'm going to be like, Rupp, look out. Just a heads up. Like, this dude's kind of a pain in the ass.
Oh, and they know.
And they know.
For all of the refs don't pay attention. Like,
everybody paid.
People forget that there was an NBA referee last year, year before, who had a burner account, who was a closeted fan of a team and had to leave the league.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is the best example of all
They're
of this.
Human. That's what this fundamentally comes down to.
They're also narcissists that want to hear about themselves.
Yes. So, have fun.
I don't ever want to read anything about me. The only thing I want to hear is that this is the greatest rated radio show in the history of radio. That's it. Anything else, I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I just don't exist.
Leave it alone.
I'm just a voice in your ears. Speaking of that, the Oregon Ducks are taking on the James Madison Dukes this weekend. I don't know if you heard about that. You can catch all that action right here on The Fan. Let's get into hour number 2. So I want to have some combo about the Oregon Duck defense. Stats versus perception. Loaded hour number 2, 105.1 The Fan.
1051 FM and 1080 AM.
This update is brought to you by Big's Chicken. Try their smoked and fried wings, tossed with a perfect dry rub and served with a trio of killer sauces. Menus at bigschicken.com. First on the Fan, the Seahawks host the Rams tonight to start Week 16 in the NFL. 5:15 kick on Prime Video. Both teams 11-3, but LA currently owning the tiebreaker due to their Week 11 win at SoFi. Tackle Charles Cross out for the Seahawks. Wide receiver Devontae Adams doubtful for the Rams. Seattle are 1.5-point favorites. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 3 o'clock, immediately following the Fan Happy Hour. Blazers back on the court tonight after a bit of a soft spot in the schedule. They host the Kings. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. That's 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday has been ruled out with a calf strain. Domantas Sabonis out for Sacramento, while Dennis Schroeder is a game-time decision. The Blazers are 8.5-point favorites. CBS Sports reporting quarterback Beau Pribula has told the Missouri staff he intends to enter the transfer portal. He also doesn't plan to play against number 19 Virginia in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. And Team USA announcing AL Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal will join Paul Skeens at the top of the team's rotation for next year's World Baseball Classic. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rush from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan. The firm of Harris and Meringue.
What's funny is the back actually looks pretty good. It's the front that really needs some action.
With Patrick Harris.
Boy, I'm stroking out today.
And Danny Meringue.
The pucker factor turns into suction.
The college football playoff is here. 4 games for a chance at the quarterfinals.
You look at those two teams on paper, and they're almost equal in their schedule strength, their common opponents, the results against their common opponents. But the one metric we had to fall back on, again, was the head-to-head.
This is the firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, The Fan.
All right, hour number deuce here, Portland Sports Leader. If you missed any of the first hour, you can download that at the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts, including places that rhyme with Duckify. If you missed Brady Henderson breaking down the Hawks-Rams game from the Sunrise guys on Dirt and Sprague this morning, you can check that out. Dan Lanning will be on primetime tomorrow, as there's no game, there's no primetime tonight. So if you missed that tomorrow, you can check that out. The Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts, also over on the YouTubes, lets you rewind, fast forward, except for Into the Future. For that will be impossible. Ducks and Dukes are on the Fan this Saturday. Pre-game coverage starts at noon with Ducks Game Day, brought to you by Coors Light. Wraps up with the Dick Hanna Dealerships post-game scoreboard. Following the game, we had Danny Cannell on yesterday. I did not have on my bingo card, Danny, that old Cannell would take the Ducks to win the whole thing.
Might as well go win the whole thing.
We both kind of looked at each other like, oh, okay, nice.
I think this Oregon team is really good. I don't think they're on that level.
I mean, I would have to. I'm with you, but part of me also is kind of with Cannell in that, and so I tried to get through some stuff to not only break down this game, but try to look ahead and see their path and just where this team stacks up this year. So I took a lot of interest in the defensive stats for the Oregon Ducks this year, and this is up against Big Ten teams. Okay, this is just how they do in the conference. By all metrics, when you look at stuff as a whole unit in different areas, it's Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon in some facet of order. But I went into some kind of individual stuff. Bryce Betcher, for example, statistically, he's the one that stood out to me the most.
Oh yeah, he's a tackling machine.
And I think that this secondary, because I got some Brandon Finney stuff here as well. The secondary is what fascinates me so much about Oregon, and it's how much they're willing to come up and give aid to the linebacking core and the defensive line. And I want you to keep that word aid in mind for a second. Bryce Betcher is top 5 in total tackles in the Big Ten. He is number 1 in assist tackles. He is number 30 in solo tackles. That leads the team. So that you're kind of like, wait a second. Total tackles, he's top 5. Number 1 in assists, but he's all the way down in 30 for solo. Because total is a mix of those two together.
Sure. Just shows you he's around the ball a lot.
Shows you he's around the ball. Then I looked around to Tuioti, to Tatum Tuioti. He has 7 sacks. That's tied for 6th in the Big Ten. Mateo Uiagalelei is tied for 5th, or tied with 5 at 19th. They as a team have 13.5 sacks. That's tied for 4th. So we have talked a lot about how there doesn't seem to be this like flash blow you up guy. There's no Myles Garrett on the team.
No.
There's no Revis Island on the team. But when I look at these stats, Brandon Finney is tied for 4th with 8 pass deflections. When I look at this, I truly look at this team as a unit. So that's where I kind of saw this, because I was a little with you in that statement.
We talked about that a lot over this season with Tyson.
Who's the guy? Like, who's the guy? And what the stats are telling me is they're all the guy. That it's truly how this goes. They're 2nd in total yards per game, and they're 3rd in points per game in the Big Ten.
There's not a weakness with this team. That was always the thing that I said, is that there's nobody you really attack. You know what I mean? Betcher is a tackling machine. Tuioti's a great pass rusher.
And I think there were some weeks where we wanted somebody like that.
You wanted a prime-time disruptor.
We wanted Mateo to have 3 sacks or
have like 12 pressures in a sack. Like, just be a guy lives in the backfield all game.
Have Amari Washington with 4 tackles for
just
losses.
Just whooping somebody's butt all game long. Thieneman has made some very big plays this year.
He has.
And he's probably going to be one of the top safeties taken in the draft. He's by all accounts, is going to be a day 1 safety, which, again, is not a very common. You usually have to be a pretty special guy to do that.
Caleb Downs and then you?
Yeah.
Sign me up for that.
I mean, if you're the second best safety in that group, like...
And the other one's Caleb Downs, who might be the next Ed Reed.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's guys in there that are special, but that's the thing about Oregon's defense this year that I've said, and we've talked about with Tyson. Like, it's not that, there's this real weakness. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, USC threw all over them. But
they did.
But that's also, Mekhi Lemon was the best wide receiver in the country.
They also couldn't run the ball.
No, exactly. And I was just saying,
they like picked their spots.
And that was the thing, is that even though they were there, and for Duck fan who's like, you had 5 pass interference calls that would have been about 120 more yards. Calm down. But beyond that, they did. They said, okay, you know what? We're going to live with that. And that's what they've done in basically every game outside of the Indiana game, where they just couldn't.
Right. I think when I look at how this team stacks up, and I think that is honestly, it's this defense that's going to give James Madison problems. You know, I love where James Madison's defense is ranked by the metrics coming into this game, but I do not understand how a James Madison offense is going to be able to have success on this team. It's very bend, don't break. It's very bend, don't break. And the unit, the collection that this team has, whether it's Amari up front or Bear up front, or it's Mateo or Tuioti in the linebacking core, and Finney and Betcher and Thieneman in the secondary, these are names that aren't just names because we cover this team. These are names because people know these names throughout college football. This is very reminiscent to me of a Georgia-Alabama defense. That's that Kirby Smart lineage. That's that time at Georgia where this now is a complete unit. It's not just...
It's a complete unit, but it doesn't have the star power.
Because it's not... Maybe it's not there yet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need a Kayvon Thibodeau. It doesn't need a Haloti Ngata.
Those Oregon teams of old, they didn't have the completeness, so that guy had to be special.
Boom.
That's the difference. You had to have the Deion Jordan. You had to have the Kayvon Thibodeau. You had to have the Haloti Ngata. You had to
Patrick Chun.
Yeah,
in the secondary.
And was it last year? You had Jabbar Muhammad, who was a dude on the back end. Like, you had to have a dude in order to cover up for some of the other shortcomings, right? And so I think you look at that the transfer Christian Gonzalez from Colorado when he came to Oregon. Like, he was one of the best corners in the country. Like, so those kind of things out there, they don't have a weakness. Like you're not testing the secondary in the sense of like, do they have the best shutdown guys on the edges? No, but you've got really good safeties over the top, and you've got great linebackers underneath.
You got safeties and linebackers that are willing to come up and hit somebody,
and you've got guys that can drop back and help. Like,
and
it's coverage as a unit. It's not just a singular corner that's a dude or a singular safety who's a dude. It's hey, your nickel back, your depth packages, your dime packages, whatever you want to go into. You trust guys that are out there because here's the other part of this. This is where I give Lanning and his staff the most credit. It's not just that they're going out and getting athletes because that's what they did in the past. Their secondary's huge.
Well, they're getting their fits.
But not just that, they're big. Mm-hmm. Like they're big and they're rangy. So, it's easier to cover up with. Like I'll use my team as an example with USC. They over the last 5-6 years they've had athletes back there, but they've been tiny. They've been tiny, and that has been something that has just burned them both in tackling in the open field and in coverage going against bigger wide receivers. That was something that just cooked them. You can't sit there and just go, we're going to jump ball your secondary against Oregon because they're all big.
And that's what I'd rather have. Like let's take Micah Parsons, the Packers defense, real quick. You can game plan. I mean, maybe Micah Parsons, the player, not necessarily the Packers. Let's take Micah when he was on Dallas. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
You could game plan to run the ball against them. Because as dominant and as disruptive as a player as Micah Parsons is on the ultimate level, you could run the ball on that team because, as Jerry clearly pointed out, Micah is not a great run stopper.
Mm-hmm.
But the way this Oregon defense is built
wasn't with Micah. It's not. He's not an excellent run stopper. But you got to remember, he was a stand-up linebacker. He's not a slouch.
I was taking more of a shot at Jerry than anything. But to where this Oregon team, there might not be a Micah Parsons on this team.
Mm-hmm.
There might not be a Jadeveon Clowney on this team when he was the most impenetrable force at South Carolina. But I'd rather have this unit. I'd rather have this collection of guys that, okay, Bryce Betcher, 5th best safety in the Big Ten. Amari Washington, 3rd best D lineman in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Finney, 7th best DB in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Because
but you got a bunch of
top 10
guys.
10, they're littered all in there. They might not be the ones. They might not be Downs and the kid from Indiana whose name escapes me, the hurt kid.
The pass rusher, but they also have Jones, the linebacker, who's a freak.
They might not be those dudes, but when you're looking at all those other numbers, they're filled in, and that's how you win World Series. That's how you have an Alex Caruso on an OKC and a Lou Dort. That's how you win games, and that's why I think this team will go as far as this defense can take them.
I was just looking through Oregon secondary, just their size. I mean, the shortest guy they've got in their regular rotation is Kennedy at 5'11". Everybody else is 6 foot to 6'2".
Text line telling me they got a blue chip coming in next year who's 6'5" at safety.
Yeah,
that's a big boy.
Yeah,
that's like Cam Chancellor size.
I mean, Wood. How tall is Peyton? Peyton's like I want to say 6'3". I feel like he's big. Peyton Woodyard, who's number 5, number 6 in their depth chart, is 6'2". Like they're big. They have a big secondary, man.
Pre-game coverage starts right here at noon, home of the Ducks on Saturday. Kick at 4:30. You can catch all the action right here. Normal situation, guys. Not really. Bringing in some big hitters. A bunch of fan personalities going to be pre-game, post-game, plus obviously Jerry Jorge and our brand man Dusty Hara be a part of that game call as well. So tune in for that on Saturday. When we come back, let's stick in college football because there's something going on this weekend that really chaps my ass. And I wonder if the college football can turn to the NFL and say, dude, just stop for a minute. 105.1 The Fan.
The Oregon Ducks.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll get to an NFL quarterback would like to have a say. Should he have a say? Him specifically. We'll have Web Gems as well. Talk a little Blazers in the Big Nooner. Also 10 toes down, 12:15. So get any of those questions. 10 toes down. Unequivocal answers to things. No wishy-washy. No wishy-washy. Have to give a 100% firm answer. Here on the firm. No pun intended.
We're very firm here.
I know the answer to this, okay? I'm going to preface what I'm going to ask you, Danny, that I know the answer to this.
Go on.
I really would love, now, and here, this might be an underlying problem that there's no commissioner of college football, but somebody, whether it's Greg Sankey, Petiti, hell, even ESPN.
How about Pernetti?
Your boy Pernetti. I guess it's my boy too. On Saturday, right? We got 3 college football playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited for all of them. I mean, I guess there's 2 G5 games, so you can get in that conversation. But Texas A&M and Miami is going to be very fascinating. That's probably the game I'm most excited to watch. And we'll get into some crystal ball chat tomorrow about that. While these games are going on, there are 2 NFL games tomorrow.
And
both division rivalries.
One of them's big.
And one of them is massive. Like, I understand that the NFL is king. And I understand that the NFL is at a point now where they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, but are they doing it the right way?
That's what I'm saying. Like, can we not just, like...
Kick rocks, dude.
Yeah, I get it, guys. I get it. You're number one, and I want to watch these games. But now I've got a dual screen.
I'm not.
For 2 I'm not going to.
I'm not going to.
I'm not. I'm like...
I'm not. I want to watch Green Bay, Chicago. I'm not.
I know. I really want to watch that game, too.
It's a college football playoff game. Solo screen.
Exactly. And even though it's, let's take it from a national perspective. Okay, I know it's Oregon and James Madison. The spread's 21. Or, James Madison players rattling off Duck legends like they're Andy Dirt Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it. It seems like it's going to be an ass whooping. But it's
a college football playoff game. Yeah.
And it's we've been fighting for a playoff, for an extended playoff for this long, that I just wish the NFL at times could look around and say, okay, you can have it. If they want to go up against the NBA, fine. Okay, fine. They're 2 different sports, at least. And I know I could make an argument that the NFL and college football are also 2 different sports.
But there's a lot of bleed over between those fan bases.
These guys that we're going to want, like Ty Simpson could go in the top 5 of the draft, and he's playing for Alabama on Friday night. And I just wish that they could look around and read the room. What do I say the 2 biggest problems with human beings are? Spatial and social awareness.
We talked about this a lot, walking through multiple airports.
God.
I had the, we have the Army-Navy helmet that we get to take home. At least I took home this year. You got the football.
I'm going to bring the football in.
There you go.
We're going to display it here in the studio.
But it's a full-on helmet. And I had it clipped to the side of my bag. And we're walking through the airport in San Francisco, and it's a wide open space. I'm not walking through like the terminal where it turns into a hallway. We're walking through like an atrium.
Yeah.
There's a ton of space. A guy walking straight walks the helmet's clipped to the side of my bag, walks right into it, and like spins me around. I look at him, and we had just gotten done talking about it. Like, why are people this stupid? And I said it loud enough that dummy behind me could hear me. Like, what are you doing? But the idea of like spatial awareness and fundamental just situational awareness, go to a grocery store, not during Christmas. You will find somebody walking their cart down the middle of the aisle, not paying attention to a single thing. That same mentality translates to everything else because people are dumb and selfish and they get hyper-focused. Have you ever seen that video? It went viral once. Some kid at a mall doing a shoot, a stand-up kind of a deal. And somebody like walked right in front of him. And as he was interviewing somebody. And he got a little irritated. And the kid he's talking to, I say kid, he was probably late teens, early 20s, said one of the most like spot-on things I've ever heard. Now, I mean this in the most positive manner. The young man's being interviewed on the spectrum.
Okay.
Like you can just, his answer and how he says it is just so fundamentally profound but so flat, you're like, okay, yeah, your ability to just be that blunt is and that incisive, very good. He said something along the lines of, that doesn't bother me. You have to realize that most people are not, most people are not out to provoke or to be ignorant or to be disruptive. They probably just didn't see you. And in that, it wasn't something because they are a bad person or because they don't, care. It was that they were focused on what they were focused on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about that in your normal life, how many times do you do something like that?
It's the disconnection from what's going on around you.
But I think the best people when it comes to that stuff are people that are just hyper aware.
Mm-hmm.
I have it because I've got ADHD and I can't not absorb the 37,000 things all going on at once.
You are a little bit of a shiny object kind of
Oh,
guy.
dude, I would not. If I came back, if I was in this world as a raccoon, I wouldn't have made it like out of the nest, dog. Just and then I would have got ran over. That's just the way it goes. But as it pertains to the NFL, it's they're very much shiny thing. Oh, there's a Saturday. We're allowed to do this. We're going to take it. Like that. Fundamentally, it came down to it's what's good for us.
Yeah, I love this comment on the YouTubes. Even if you want to be a super capitalist about it, the NFL shouldn't take eyes off college football playoff games because those help build brand equity in the future stars of the NFL. I've said this in the past. I don't really visually remember Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel kind of like a crappy sports fan for it.
Here, I want to take some from where we're going with right there. If Sam Levitt ends up being a great quarterback in the NFL, are you going to remember him in college? Are you going to remember that game at Arizona State, Texas?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
That's the power.
I might remember Scattaboo more.
But okay, but
yes.
But this is my point. That's the power of the college football playoff.
Hey, let me ask you this. The two quarterbacks and the running back in the greatest college football game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
How'd their NFL careers turn out? Pretty garbage.
Yeah.
But I know who Vince Young, Matt Leinart, and Reggie Bush are.
Yep.
Because of that game.
Yes.
And I think
because of the stakes, because of what it was, because of the pomp, the circumstance, everything that came with it. That's what this weekend is about. Look,
the NFL might get away with the fact that it's Tulane and James Madison. They might get away with it this year, and that's the problem is if they get away with it, they'll do it again.
They'll do it again. But here's the thing.
And then bye-bye NBA on Christmas Day.
Let's say Tulane, I keep using this example. Let's say Tulane still had Darian Mensah. And Darian Mensah ends up making that game against Ole Miss, and ends up making that game a game. Mm-hmm. Heaven forbid they knock off Ole Miss. Are you going to remember that? Are you going to remember Darian Mensah? Let's say Retzloff does it at Tulane. Dude, you're gonna. I used Mensah because he's going to be an NFL draft pick.
Statue of Liberty in the hook and ladder.
Yes,
I can see it in my head right now.
And
Zabransky pulls it down.
Yeah, and if there's,
I can see him holding the ball behind his back.
If there's
as clear as day.
If there was an NFL game going on that day, you know what I was going to watch? Boise State, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're doing this, it's like, just I get it, money, but it's like, stop.
It's also a little bit like, who's going to stop me? And it's a little like testing the waters. Because, guys, I hate to say it, but Green Bay, Chicago is going to get better numbers than Oregon James Madison.
Oh, yes. Now,
it is.
Now,
and that's going to justify
if it was
for the
Miami,
NFL.
If it was Miami A&M and they flipped it,
I don't know about that either, man.
I mean, it's Chicago.
It's
Green
Packers,
Bay.
Bears.
Yeah,
it's big branding.
By the way, apropos of nothing, Netflix's Christmas Day NFL game. Have you seen who the halftime entertainment is?
No.
It's Snoop D-O double G.
Oh, well. I'll watch.
Is he going to do Snoop Zion stuff? Because that was really when he was like at his peak of his game.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, he did a reggae record.
Oh, okay.
He was being sarcastic.
He did a reggae record, and I watched this documentary of him going to Jamaica to learn the roots of Rastafarian. And he walks into like the slums of Jamaica to go meet the like biggest like drug dealer overlord in Jamaica. And you can tell he is scared.
Yeah.
Like he's walking through a place and guys are looking at him like, we don't care who you are. Why are there cameras here? Why are there people in here right now? And the album was really, really atrocious.
As it pertains to that Bears game, it just got a little bit less interesting. Courtney Cronin is reporting that both Roma Dunze and Luther Burden have been ruled out.
Give me the Packers big.
Boy.
Give me the Packers big. All right, let's slide over to the NFL. All right. let's actually, this is why they win. Because now I'm going to talk about the NFL. Young quarterback in the NFL wants a choice on who his coach is going to be. But should you give young ones the right? Do you want to invest in that? We'll get there next. First, there's the kahuna with sports.
That's that Hawaiian burger joint.
This is the firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Seahawks host the Rams tonight to start Week 16 in the NFL. It's a 5:15 kick on Prime Video. Both teams 11-3, but LA currently owning the tiebreaker due to their Week 11 win at SoFi. Offensive tackle Charles Cross out for the Seahawks. Wide receiver Devontae Adams doubtful for the Rams. Seattle are 1.5-point favorites. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 3 o'clock, immediately following the Fan Happy Hour. Blazers back on the court tonight after a soft spot in the schedule. They host the Kings for a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. It's 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday ruled out with a calf strain. For Sacramento, Domantas Sabonis is out while Dennis Schroeder is a game-time decision. The Blazers are 8.5-point favorites. CBS Sports reporting quarterback Beau Pribula has told the Missouri staff he intends to enter the transfer portal. He also does not plan to play against number 19 Virginia in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. And Team USA announcing AL Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal. He's going to join Paul Skeens at the top of the team's rotation for next year's World Baseball Classic. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday morning 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 a.m.
10 Toes Down coming up at 12:15. Get those thoughts in. 503-864-6326. We answer your questions unequivocally. No wishy-washy. 10 Toes, no 50-50. So get those in. 503-864-6326. I'll read this text from our last conversation. I do absolutely agree with you about the NFL playing on Christmas when it isn't on a Sunday. But against college bowl games, they have always had that way. It's scheduling the playoff games and perhaps not negotiating with the NFL to clear up at least the first Saturday or maybe the second Saturday of the playoffs. That would be a great spot for a college football commissioner. And that's honestly probably where the whole thing lies, is who's the voice of college football? You know, I know Durden Sprague loved to say that Josh Pate, the commissioner of college football. And, you know, I've heard talk like Swag brought up something the other day that I thought was fascinating. Like, I know everybody wants to make Nick Saban the college football or the college football commissioner.
Czar.
Kyle Whittingham. That's not a bad choice.
Here's the thing.
But somebody needs to speak for them because they're just on their own there.
There's always going to be a power vacuum, and somebody's going to grab it, whether it's Petiti or Sankey. Those are the two.
And my money would be on Sankey.
Mine too. But it's easy to say Whittingham or Saban, but also at the same token, the thing I think you have to recognize or realize is, why did both those guys get out of the game?
Oh, because they don't like the game right now.
So, do you want somebody to be in charge who's, I don't want to say less progressive in that mindset, but would probably be slower to a change and adapt, or would you want to go with somebody much, much younger, a Dan Lanning type,
Marcus Freeman?
You know what I mean? Like, and again, it doesn't have to be
somebody
them.
Open to change.
Well, here, I'll use the USC one. They went and took Chad Bowden, the GM from Notre Dame, and brought him into USC and brought their recruiting up to speed. Bowden's like 30 or 31. He's a kid.
The new GM for the Washington Nationals is 31 years old.
The Jacksonville Jaguars GM. He's a kid. Like, do you want to go that way?
Theo Epstein was a kid.
That's what, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's those kind of things. You know, which way do you want to lean on? Do you want to go with somebody who's a little more traditional? And again, Whittingham and Saban aren't old fuddy-duddies and crusty and like, don't change my game. But they're also not, let's be on the cutting edge of this.
Agreed. I think you would hope for, if you're looking for someone to be the voice of it, I think if it were a Saban or a Whittingham or somebody like that, a Dabo, Jimbo Fisher, kind of that old school crew, you would hope that they could understand where the game is, but they would have lived in the integrity and the historical value that we all hold near and dear to our heart. You would hope that they could add some of that, because I think your fear of the young guy would be not caring about who plays in the Rose Bowl, not caring about what the Cotton Bowl means, and not caring about Army, Navy, and et cetera, and all and what Notre Dame independence means. That you would think it would just say, screw that, free capitalism, let's ride.
Maybe go with look. There's some bias here because I've never met Sankey or Petiti, but I like what Pernetti's got to offer. just think about we can't talk about it, but think about the discussions that we had.
I know. Smart guy.
And how he sees the game of college football. And like the things he thinks that are blocking, progress or change. That's the kind of guy that I would, because I think he splits the difference between the super young guy and the old guy. I think he's a guy that understands, because this is a guy that recognizes Army, Navy and their place in things.
That's what I was going to say. He's in a situation in which he sees,
he has to.
He sees the historical importance of a game within his conference, but also sees the USF of the world.
I was just say fully vested in their spending.
And Tulane being in the college football playoff.
That's what I mean. Like he has hands everywhere.
Does Teresa Gould care about the Rose Bowl? Because I would argue the Pac-12 championship should be played at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Just some sliver of resemblance of what the old conference looked like.
You're I think with a guy like Pernetti, you're getting the progression, but you're also recognizing the past, the traditions, the things that separate you that make you whole.
He's not young, but he's old. Or he's not old, but he's young.
Yes.
Not young, but he's old. Wait, flip it and reverse it. Is that a not young but old song?
But you understand, like with Petiti and Sankey, I think there's a selfishness there.
Oh, of course, and there's self-preservation, and there's that's clutching at the pearls. That's holding on.
Did you get that from Pernetti?
No.
And I think, I think it's hard to find that.
But I also wonder if I sat down with Greg Sankey and I was like, dude, he's right. The SEC is the greatest conference in the world, because these people in these positions have to be that way.
That's the thing is about Pernetti. We didn't get that from him.
I didn't, except for him continuing to tower over me as a 5'6" man, and he's like 6'3".
But the thing about the thing he did say, the idea of like what's blocking progress in college football, that resonated. And not once did he try to tell us that the American Conference is the best conference. He said, what did he say? We want to be the best conference we can be.
Yep.
And there was something about that resonated.
He doesn't like Power 4, Group of 5. He doesn't like those labels. He just said let conferences be conferences.
If you take that and you put that in a commissioner or a czar over all of college football, then you're not playing Big Ten, SEC, whatever favorites, and you're going, what's best for the game?
Web Gems is next, my friends. We do it every single day at 11:45, 105.1, Portland Sports Leader and the Fan Sports Network.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
No, son of a...
It's Web Gems.
What'd you do?
The Firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this Web Gems, everybody's favorite. We do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, we'll have 10 Toes Down as it's a Thursday. 503-864-6326. Can get those in or over on the YouTube chat where you ask us questions and we have to unequivocally answer them, whether it's in sports, your life, or somewhere in between. One more shopping weekend till Christmas.
You done?
I wrapped all my wife's gifts last night.
I have one that'll be delivered on Christmas Eve.
Bucker factor a little?
A little dicey.
A little dicey.
But otherwise, I got to make a stop either Friday or Saturday and grab the last couple.
I have to go to a store today that I will not mention the name because I hate this store with a giant passion and refuse to give them any on-air credibility.
What do they sell?
Things.
That gives it away, huh?
Yep. They sell stuff. And I got to pick something up there. I have to. I have no choice.
It happens. Is it of the sweet variety?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I wish.
I
What are you thinking of?
Well, no, the Seas Candy Run.
Oh, no, that's fine.
This time of year it's a nightmare.
Well, yeah, but this place I'm going are owned by terrible people.
No. Everything is.
No.
I've got an idea.
No. I know a ton of places in town that I frequent that are not owned by terrible people. I do.
Everything is. If you're talking about I'm not talking about a restaurant.
Well, there are degrees of terribleness.
Yeah. You don't want to know where the rare earth minerals in your cell phone come from.
Oh, I know where they come from.
Everything.
That I'm aware of.
Everything.
Today's Web Gem is brought to you by the NFL. You can always count on a good Web Gem, and you can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays. With the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus, stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. There's a report out there that Cam Ward, the number 1 overall draft pick, quarterback of the Tennessee Titans, would like to have a say and sit in on who the next coach is going to be. And this had me kind of thinking, Danny. I'm curious where you lie on this. The kid is only in his rookie year.
This coach got fired, 6 games into the season?
Something like that. And there are a lot of issues going on in Tennessee, I would say, right now. They need players first and foremost. That's their biggest problem. We don't know if Cam will be good or not. And this isn't a discussion on if Cam will be good or not. The discussion is based around has Cam Ward built enough credibility by being the number 1 overall draft pick, being in theory the franchise quarterback, to help make some of this decision. If you tell me Zach Taylor gets fired in Cincinnati and Joe Burrow wants to say of who gets shot, I'm in on that. I'm curious if the kid's too young to try and speak up and say he wants something.
Well, I don't know if he's saying he wants something in particular. He did say the quote from him, I want to meet all of them. Every coach who gets the opportunity to come here, I want to have conversations throughout the process with them. I'm going to be here for that whole time. And he's not wrong.
No, he's not.
He's a number 1 overall pick. He's going to have, we talk about, draft equity and all those kind of things. Unless he craters in year 2, year 3, and even then he's going to get a chance unless he Justin Fields this thing. He's not saying, I want to decide. He's just saying, I want to have conversations. And to be honest, I'd rather have that than a guy who just says, no.
Remember what you said.
But it's not a right to have it.
Remember what you said in the 10 o'clock hour? 25 quarterbacks that have gone 25 years, quarterbacks that have gone number 1. There are 2 worth a damn on there. That's where I push back a little bit. Kid, I need you to trust me here for a moment.
I don't think he's saying he's not, though.
If we sign you to an extension, then maybe you come in. But right now, I might lean, and unfortunately this might be Cam Ward bias against him, and I'm trying really hard not to. I might lean a little bit into let the adults take a shot real quick.
Well, I think...
Or did the adults already screw this up?
That's kind of my point, is that... And he's taking vested interest in his future. And he's not saying, I want to decide. I just want to be a part of the process.
And yeah.
Who's the most important guy in the room on a football team?
Well, the quarterback.
Okay.
In theory. I mean,
I don't think it's even theory.
I might argue the GM.
Well,
I give you, for example, the Cincinnati Bengals.
But what happens when Joe Burrow goes out?
They crater.
Okay.
Because they don't have the infrastructure around them.
And that's, I think, Cam Ward's looking around and saying, I don't have any infrastructure around me at all.
Look at the Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm. Great infrastructure.
Great infrastructure.
But is Daniel Jones out there saying that I need to be in a part of the room? Because no, because Shane Steichen's a good coach.
And
there's good things around him.
And Daniel Jones got lucky to be in the room in the first place.
And with Cam Ward, he's saying, I'm a number 1 overall pick. You trust me. Like, let me be a part of this. And again, if he was saying, I want to decide or I want to have input, he's saying he just wants to be a part of the process.
And I guess I took that as input.
Because he said that he'll be all in on the next coach regardless of if it's a defensive or offensive-minded hire. He just wants to be a part of the process. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not dictating terms.
No.
I think it's a guy that's taking a vested interest in his immediacy and his future. I think that's the right way to go about it.
Boy, who's going to take that job?
Oh, always somebody.
Well, I know somebody's going to.
Kellen Moore took the Saints job. Aaron Glenn took the Jets job.
He's no Kirby Moore, I'll tell you that.
I mean, the idea of the Titans, if Vrabel's still there, how different are things?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, it is nice to know the kid's invested.
You know, I'd rather have that than a guy, a Johnny Manziel of the world's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me the guy who cares.
I would like to pick the guy that eventually benches me. Mike McDaniel, come on down.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's get to the big nooner. Blazers take on the Kings tonight. They're back in action for only the second time in like the last 10 days. I almost forgot that the NBA was going on. Let's jump into that. Plus, we'll have 10 toes down at 12:15. If you get enough in, and we're kind of looking like it, we might have a double 10 toes down today. So get those in 503-864-6326 or on the YouTube chat. Final hour next. 105.1 The Fan.
I'm dead.
1051 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Seahawks host the Rams tonight to start Week 16 in the NFL. It's a 5:15 kick on Prime Video. Both teams 11-3, but LA currently owning the tiebreaker due to their Week 11 win at SoFi. Offensive tackle Charles Cross out for the Seahawks. Receiver Devontae Adams doubtful for the Rams. Seattle are 1.5-point favorites. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 3 o'clock immediately following the Fan Happy Hour. Blazers are back on the court tonight after a bit of a soft spot in their schedule. They host the Kings for a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. That's 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday ruled out with a calf strain. Meanwhile, for Sacramento, Domantas Sabonis is out. Dennis Schroeder is a game-time decision. The Blazers are 8.5-point favorites. CBS Sports reporting quarterback Bo Pribula told the Missouri staff he intends to enter the transfer portal. He also plans to skip the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl against number 19 Virginia. And Team USA announcing AL Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal. He's going to join Paul Skeens at the top of the team's rotation for next year's World Baseball Classic. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Ducks game day. Before and after every Ducks football game this season. The Fan Sports Network, 1051 FM and 1080 AM. The firm of Harris and Meringue.
I do have a giant safe.
The opening week of the college football playoff is upon us with Patrick Harris.
Sure is nice to pile on some old pancakes and syrup after a night of beer drinking, isn't it?
And Danny Meringue.
Hell, man. Grandmother's quicker and tougher than you pansies. Of course, she's 6'3", 250. I'm 4'5", 40.
This is the firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only on the Fan Sports Network, 1051 FM, 1080 AM, The Fan.
All right, 2 down, 1 to go here. Firm of Harris and Meringue. We do this bad boy every single day from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. After us will be Duck Insider from 1 to 2, and then it's the Fan Happy Hour from 2 to 3 with Luke Anderson, and then, nope, Seahawks, baby. Holy catfish. Get some Rabel on there, dude. That guy's awesome. We'll be playing the Seahawks-Rams Thursday Night Football game live from Seattle. I'll tell you what, dude. If it's anything up there like it is outside right now, run the ball.
Holy catfish!
Thank you. I need to put that on my page.
Bit of an S show in the weather-wise here. I don't think it's quite as bad up there. Let me pull it up. I know we had the atmospheric river again.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to pour from now until
oh, no, it's a flood watch.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah, things aren't very good.
Yeah, it's a flood watch until 4 p.m. in Seattle.
Oh, wow.
With a wind advisory until 7.
Run the ball.
I saw yesterday the Pacific Northwest was the most disruptive weather in the world.
Really?
Yeah. As in, changing constantly.
I guess not last night, but last night's night was pretty rough. Me, I sit up in a castle, so I didn't have to worry about anything.
I was driving home this morning, 6 o'clock this morning, and buddy, it was not a fun drive.
Old preschool had to go to a field trip with our middle girl and down in Foster Powell.
Okay.
So she went across the Glenn Jackson Bridge today in pouring rain.
Oh, yeah.
That is not a fun place to be.
Nope.
When weather is bad in this town, 205 Glenn Jackson is a really scary place.
Yeah.
It's really high up.
And it's open.
It's open.
There's no protection.
Yeah. Like when you go through the I-5 bridge, or even if you go under the lower deck of the 405, you feel like you're in a safe zone. Even though, you could totally go through that guardrail and go into the Willamette, but you feel like you're a little comfortable. That place, it's like you could slide across 4 lanes, hit a car, and then flip over the thing, and you're on Vancouver Island.
And not just that, there's nothing. Not only is there not
Vancouver
protection.
Island. Government Island.
There you go.
Sorry.
There's no protection from the elements. There's no wind barrier. So everything just comes, it's the river.
Yep.
So it's just swirling and ripping through there.
We'll have 10 Toes Down coming up here in about 10 minutes. Get those in, 503-864-6326, plus the YouTube chats as well. Thank you for joining us today. We're happy to have you. The Blazers take on the Kings tonight. I got asked the question, I believe Jeffrey Rust asked me the question, do the Blazers deserve to be 8.5-point favorites in this game? And my retort is that spread has nothing to do with the Blazers. It has everything to do with the dumpster fire in Sacramento.
I think you're definitely onto something there. That team just doesn't make any sense, and we knew that coming into the season of what they were going to be.
How's Doug Christie the coach there?
Vibes.
Didn't they have a coach of the year there in the first place?
I mean, Sacramento right now has...
Light the beam.
They have the second lowest point differential in the NBA. Only the Wizards are worse. The Wizards are at minus 13.9. The Kings are at minus 11.5.
Who is the best player on the Kings?
DeRozan.
See what I mean?
Depends on what you, yeah.
Who's the best player on that team?
Sabonis is good, but fit is awkward. He's an undersized center, and defensively he's limited. He's a great passer, great rebounder.
Levine is good.
Levine's a good scorer.
Doesn't have a great shot, but can
no,
score.
He can shoot.
Yeah.
DeRozan's less of the shooter, but like DeRozan's a guy that I trust more. I mean, if you want to go outside the box and say like going forward, it's Keon Ellis.
Well, yeah.
And Keegan Murray, but
yeah,
beyond
you're hoping.
That, but yeah, man, beyond that, it's tough.
And that's always a wild thing, because when I look at the Blazers, who's the best player on the Blazers?
Denny.
Well, that's Denny Avdia. That's easy. I mean, in theory, the best player on the Blazers is Damian Lillard.
But yes, kind of what you're saying. It's very easy.
Or Duop Reeve.
Let's see. The most used lineup by the Kings is Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis. God, that's disgusting. That's gross.
I agree.
Good God, that's gross.
And that's kind of why, like, obviously I'm going to watch the game tonight. I'm just teasing.
That lineup has a negative 17.2 differential. It's in the 6th percentile.
Yeah. And that's
the only thing they do well is not turn the ball over. They have a 7th percentile effective field goal percentage, 9th percentile points per possession, 21st percentile points allowed per possession. They don't turn teams over. They're in the 10th percentile, so they don't force turnovers. Good gravy, they're bad.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I'll have the game on tonight on the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I won't dual screen or have it on the screen because I'm really stoked about Thursday Night Football tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, would I need a reason to watch this game if I were a casual Blazer fan.
Okay,
and it's nothing against Blazers. I mean, what's the health report tonight? Business as usual. No Drew.
Yeah, Drew's
no Scoot.
Let me see if there's any other updates. I don't think it comes out for another hour.
Anybody got mud butt right now?
I mean, it's been going through the locker room.
It always does, dude. It goes through my house when it does. Why wouldn't it go through that?
So as of yesterday, the list was Javante Koku's on G League assignment, but Scoot's obviously out, Drew's out, Dame's out, T's out, Blake out. So
okay,
I don't see any of the other bigs.
So welcome to full strength Trailblazers.
Well, with guys that aren't on shelf.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Full strength tonight, baby.
So Donovan, again, basically playing 2 games over the span of 8 or 9 days. They got the big break. Donovan's able to get healthy. Rob's able to get healthy. Jeremy's was fighting being sick. Chris was fighting being sick. I mean, the guys have been. It's not just injuries. It's guys have been. It's that time of year. The locker room and the germ tube that is the plane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's guys on the team that have kids, and those guys bring little germ factories into there, and it's one of those things that it permeates every locker room.
There is a good chance that Donovan Clingan, Time Lord, and Denny Avdia will have a field day on Sabonis tonight.
Oh, not just that. They just don't have any defense or rim protection.
Right.
Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis are the only guys you can rely on to play
If
defense.
we come in tomorrow and Donovan Clingan is like 20-14-4,
it's not gonna be a surprise.
I'm gonna flex my muscles here.
I'd be more surprised on the 20, but
yeah.
Otherwise, this should be why this game matters in a sense. Is this is a game the Blazers should and need to win.
Really, really do.
So this is their schedule coming up. They have the Kings back to back. It's a home and home. They're here against Sacramento. They give a day off. And they fly down to Sacramento for one game, and they come home for what is it? A 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's a Peacock in there. I know.
There's a 5-game homestand.
Didn't they just say the Peacocks are going to 7:30 though?
They're going to bump them back.
Yeah,
yes,
good.
Because all of us were like,
everybody was
complete and utter nightmare fuel. What
y'all
are you
are
doing?
idiots.
And they were only doing it to cater to the East Coast. And it was like, yeah, knock it off. But after that, they have the Kings twice. Then they have the Pistons and Magic, which those should both be difficult games, but you're at home. I would imagine you're trying to at least get one of those, get the Magic game. Then you've got the they've got the Clippers, Celtics, and Mavericks. So the Clippers have been complete and utter dog water. Celtics have been much better. Did you see the latest that Jason Tatum says he's going to come back?
Be careful, buddy.
I mentioned this probably.
Be careful.
Was it a month ago that I brought that up when I was talking to Dame?
Yeah, I think we talked about it, and Dame was just absolutely not.
Do not do it, dude.
I mean, Dame's got 10, 12 years on Jason Tatum, but still.
But even then,
I just wouldn't.
No, and that's the prevailing sentiment to every player. That
Unless your Achilles is actually like Seth Rollins' Achilles, which wasn't really Achilles, I'm not rushing that back. Shout out Seth Rollins.
It's just don't do it. But the Celtics have been playing pretty well. Jaylen Brown's been great. Derek White's been able to find a shot. Anthony and Pritchard are scoring as they can. They're both great shooters, so that they've got that little bit of balance. But they still don't make a ton of sense, but obviously without Tatum. But then you have the Mavericks, and the Mavericks are not a good team. But then you have closing out the year against the Thunder on the road on New Year's. And then on that road trip, you play the Pelicans and Spurs, come back to start the year with another 4-game homestand where it's Jazz, Rockets twice, and Knicks. So if you're going to try to scratch and claw and get your way back to 500, you need to beat the Kings. You need to knock off the Clippers. You need to knock off the Mavericks. You need to not drop a game to the Pelicans. And you probably need to steal a game in there and beat the Jazz before you go Rockets twice, Knicks, Warriors, Hawks, Lakers, and then Kings again. That's basically the next month.
Well, Blazers are 500 against the old Thunder. Why don't we just steal one from them?
Well, 2-1.
2-1, excuse me. Why don't you steal one from them?
Yeah, I mean, get one more. That's the thing. If you're going to get back
hit
to 500,
them where it hurts.
Well, if they're going to get back to 500, the thing they have to do is they do have to steal a couple games. You have to look. They
can't be losing to the Pelicans. I know that game was weird and missing dudes, but like you just can't lose that game.
But also the Pistons and Magic, those are both teams they should have beaten.
True.
You know, it's a game-winning shot from Desmond Bane, and you couldn't close out against the Pistons. Those are both games you should win.
Boy, that team and this team right now feel like really far away, don't they? They really do.
Yeah.
Just a complete different cast and different vibes to it. I caught a little bit of Zach Lowe's podcast yesterday, and he was very frustrated with the Blazers because was like really stoked about it.
Well, yeah.
And now he's just like, I don't know how to watch. Like they're hurt, and Shaden drives me crazy every night. And you know, he was very high on Drew Holiday.
Well, before Drew went down, it was massive.
Yeah.
He was playing incredible.
And I think anybody that watches hoops is high on Drew Holiday, no matter what team he's on.
So, I mean, and again, people keep texting and either asking on YouTube or asking on Twitter. Look, I've said Christmas for Drew. That's where I'm at. When the calf went, I'm like, he's out a month.
That's a week.
So
that's a week.
Hopefully.
A man can hope, Kenny.
That's what. Between now and then, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 games. So day after Christmas, they play the Clippers. Hopefully, Drew's back then, but I'll be in the building tonight so I can get a little more of an update.
Yeah, see if he's kind of ramping up a little bit. See what kind of see if he can sneak in what kind of work he's doing right now.
I'll just go talk to him.
Yeah. I want you to report back on that tomorrow.
Drew's pretty forthcoming with stuff.
Yeah. So. Let me know if he's doing workout or if this is like a Scoot thing where he's like not back till basketball activities till then, which means still time to ramp up. I'd be curious. So we'll circle around back on that. Maybe we'll have a larger, broader conversation on the Blazers tomorrow. When we come back, 10 toes down. It's 12:15. It's a Thursday. That means it's time for that. Get your questions in, 503-864-6326. Christmas is almost up. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. If you need some help, Boxing Day. If you need some help on any of that, we got you. Sports. You worried about your Duckies? Are you an A&M fan out there that's pooping yourself because Miami might win this game? 503-864-6326 or the YouTube chat. We'll do that next. Portland Sports Leader 105.1 FM, 1080 AM.
there's no fence sitting here.
Sooner or later, man's got to pick sides.
This is 10 Toes Down, where the firm picks a side and is all in.
They know where I'm at. 10 toes down.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. The Fan.
Yeah, you heard that sexy big voice there. This is 10 Toes Down. We do it every single Thursday around this time. Can't sit on a fence. You can't be all wishy-washy. You got to put 10 toes down that you believe unequivocally the answer to the questions that you out there, you listeners, send to us, whether it's via the fan text line at 503-864-6326 or if it's the YouTube chats over there, youtube.com/1051thefan. We started the show talking about, realizing it's okay to be bald.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads us to this question. Would you rather have a terrible toupee or a Gene Katie comb-over? Because I will tell you what, I just finished watching all 3 Godfather movies, and some of the guys, the heads of the 5 families, excuse me, they will not let go of the, stringy little thing that either goes from side to side or front to back. Look, I get it. I had amazing hair, and she gone. And I miss it dearly. Sometimes I have lucid dreams where I realize I have that hair, and I get in the shower because I want to get it wet and flop it around everywhere. And I can't always do that.
They got me all wet.
This isn't even hard for me. Comb over.
Oh, really? I'll take the toupee.
We saw that guy at the airport.
Well, I'm going to get a better toupee.
No.
If it's that guy at the airport,
that's what I mean.
Comb over, baby.
No.
The question was bad toupee.
Yes.
Or comb over.
Technically, terrible toupee.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
excuse me. You got a live fox skin on your head. If you're telling me that the rug is that bad, not that. Look, I don't want to besmirch that guy in the airport. The thing on top of his head was a totally different color from the rest of his hair. You remember? It was red. It looked like a fox fur. His hair on the sides was black.
It was kind of a cool auburny
it was
hair color.
It was there
like a red panda.
Yes, that's what I mean. It was like fox
stands up on his legs.
Oh yeah.
Seen a red panda? He's like
it's not often that you see like a rug that bad out in the wild anymore, which is why I turned into a 14-year-old kid and I was like, dude, and I said rug like 5 times. You're like, what? I was like, over there, next to the pole, rug.
Meanwhile, I have to tell you not to quit acting like a child. If you point at him too much, he's gonna see you, Daniel.
I don't know. Judging by his age, he wasn't gonna hear anything.
I also don't think he had any idea what was going on. I mean, or could he see anything? Because clearly he can't see into a mirror.
The color matching not happening there. Give me the Gene Katie.
Now, if it's just a toupee, I think I would rather rock the toupee.
Oh, look, if we're doing like a match, and we're spending the money,
like is Al Michaels terrible?
It ain't great.
It ain't great, but it's not terrible.
It's better than Marv's.
Better than Marv. Well, Marv's is this like mafioso looking thing.
Like jet black.
It's still jet black, yeah.
No, let it go,
It's been the same color his entire life.
Well, the thing with Al Michaels is like you had the hair further back, dog. We know. We either do the plugs or let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've already saw you when it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So just plug it. Look, you want to go full Urlacher? Fine. But don't give me the tube afterwards.
Yeah, that's the truth. There's we have a client for this station that Jason Sukanik pushes all the time. You got to go that route. Honestly, of all 3 of them, go that route.
If you're gonna do something, plug it.
Yeah, and maybe not plug it, but it's like your real hair.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like go to Turkey, man.
I do wonder what would have happened if I would have started that as I was thinning, because now I think it's too late. Now I think I'm too late.
No, Urlacher did it. He was bald.
But is his real or is this a toupee?
No, his is real. He's got a billboard in Chicago like advertising it.
I also just the biggest thing that scares me about all of it is like you guys know I'm bald.
And?
Well, won't I get flack for the rest of my life?
No, you'll get your balls busted for a week, maybe 2. Other than that, you're fine.
Really?
Yeah.
What if my hair came back super curly and I grew it out long?
Cool. I bet you Sue could be jealous.
Well,
Sue gave me crap when I cut my hair.
Well, he's got the money to do it. I don't know if I have the money to do it.
I can just picture Patrick rolling in here looking like Howard Stern.
Well, it's not that bad. And it grows out. It doesn't go down. It grows out. Like,
have you seen his hair lately?
Honestly, my hair kind of looks like Dante Moore.
Grows out, not down, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Out, up, out and up, not down and stringy. Say like Weird Al. I missed the joke.
Yeah, it grows out, not down.
Well, a lot of things grow out and not down.
That's my point.
There we go.
Now I see. Have I ever told you guys that if I have the money, I want to laser remove my entire head?
Look, if you're gonna let it go, if you're gonna go the
Like,
other
I
way,
will
yeah.
shave my face.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to lose my facial hair because I will shave that. But if I could from never once ever for the rest of my life touch my head, that'd be amazing.
The lifelong nair.
Oh.
Never have to deal with it again.
Be amazing.
Isn't that what Bezos did?
Did he?
I
mean, there's like 2 people on this planet that have more money than him, and one is named God.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I thought I read that he did.
Maybe. I'm sure you can do it.
Oh God, yes.
I'm sure you can do it. I wonder if it scars you at all, though.
Eh.
Because he does have that like Stephen Miller alien look to him.
Well, he also got super jacked too.
I think I would too, dude, if I made like $1 billion last hour.
Yeah, right? Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, if I had nothing to do, if I was rich as F and never had anything to do, like...
Well, I mean, he does have stuff to do, but he can also dictate everything.
Yeah, I mean, I would be jacked too.
Mm-hmm.
I would like make somebody pick me up and take me to the gym.
There you go.
I mean, smoke a heater on the way, but then we'll get to the gym.
It's the simple things in life.
At the end of the day, I'm happy being a ball.
You have to save our other one for the next segment.
I will. All right, let's do that. We'll take a break right now real quick because we're gonna need, well, no, we'll do something real quick. Here's one that came in kind of recently. Do you think Dante Moore will go to the draft?
Yes.
And I say no.
All signs seem to point to it being yes.
And I'm with you.
Shaking the magic 8-ball. I think he's reading the tea leaves of what the next class could be, and that unless he like performs. I know we said that about this class too, but this class also I wasn't excited about to begin with. Looking at next year's class, it has the potential to be better, a lot better than this class. And I'm not saying that he's bad. He's not my Huckleberry.
Yeah.
I don't want my Raiders to draft him, but I think he has potential.
And I don't think he will because I think he sees what Oregon could be next year. To your point, the quarterback class might be a little tougher to go to the NFL, but Oregon could be something very, very serious next year.
Yeah, but the flip side of that is the team success stuff does not always point to NFL success or NFL draft spot.
Completely understood. And if
he has a chance to be a top 3 pick.
Understood, but maybe I'd rather be a number 12 overall. Do you want to go to the Jets or the Raiders or the Browns? I don't.
This whole idea of like
I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to go to that team. You're very likely going to go to a bad team.
So why don't you have a deep class and be Bo Nix and go to Denver?
Because you could just as easily go to the Steelers.
That'd be great. I would love that.
Because there's been one quarterback in the last 50 years.
I would love that.
I wouldn't.
Better than going to the Jets.
Sure.
No offense, but maybe offense, but better than the Raiders.
But the whole, I know it is. I mean, they're not good. But this whole idea of like, yeah, you could end up, getting drafted in the second, like, 3rd round, whatever it is, and like, oh, but he went to a better spot. But yeah, if you don't ever get a chance to get on the field, you have more opportunity, you have more chances.
All right, we got more 10 Toes Down to get to. We'll do a double seggy here, so we'll get to some of those next. Last call for them. Maybe we'll get to them, but we got kind of a doozy here that we'll have to get into. So we'll do that next on The Firm. But now we'll toss it to the Big Kahuna with sports.
You ever had a Big Kahuna Burger?
This is The Firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the College Football Playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys into whom you can place your trust. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on The Fan, the Seahawks host the Rams tonight to start Week 16 in the NFL. 5:15 kick on Prime Video. Both teams 11-3, but LA currently owning the tiebreak due to their Week 11 win at SoFi. Offensive tackle Charles Cross out for the Seahawks. Receiver Devontae Adams doubtful for the Rams. Seattle are 1.5-point favorites. We'll have coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starting at 3 o'clock immediately following the Fan Happy Hour. The Blazers back on the court tonight after a soft spot in the schedule. They host the Kings for a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. That's 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday, ruled out with a calf strain. Domantas Sabonis out for Sacramento, while Dennis Schroeder is a game-time decision. The Blazers are 8.5-point favorites. CBS Sports reporting quarterback Beau Pribula has told the Missouri staff he intends to enter the transfer portal. He also doesn't plan to play against number 19 Virginia in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. And Team USA announcing AL Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal will join Paul Skeens at the top of the team's rotation for next year's World Baseball Classic. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. Weekdays 2 to 3. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. There are
This is 10 Toes Down, as we do it every Thursday around 12:15. Double segment today from you fine listeners out there in Portland Sports Radio land and adjacent places as well. Shout out to my hometown of Vancouver, Washington. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line if you want to try and jump in. We might fit you in, but I don't know if this was meant as a 10 Toes Down, but we were kind of laughing about the Tom Brokaws and Peter Jennings of the world and who those win in a fight. This came across the fan text line. If you guys had an Anchorman-style fight with other Portland media teams, how does the fan team fare? Now, before we get into the lead, and I will bury the lead at first, I would like to acknowledge that on the surface, we are in a bad spot because of yours truly. I am a liability in this. I am Brick. Yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. I am Brick in this.
Yeah, but Brick killed the guy with the trident.
That is true. I might get lucky by throwing the trident across the room and it end up
probably lay low for a while,
jabbing into somebody's chest. But I am not the dude that's like ready to rumble here.
Yeah, I know, but I think I'm certainly putting myself in another category here.
Well, you'll just go serial killer.
Well, there's two of us.
Well, and the other one that we have not spoken of is, and no offense to my wonderful co-host Danny Meringue here, I will take Jason Sukanik in like a 1-on-5 fight of any group of media members in this town.
Yeah, and that's you have the two largest probably dudes in media in this city between me and him.
There's nobody else bigger than you? You're not that big, Danny.
240 pounds.
But Sukanik's like 6'3",
No,
6'4".
I'm talking like mass.
Oh. Well, I mean, like, I'm fat. Does that count as mass?
I'm also 5 inches taller than you.
Is it really 5 inches?
How tall are you?
5'6", almost 5'7".
I'm 5'10" plus, so.
I was like, I'd be worried about mass because, like, I'm a fatty over here.
Well, I know, but
I got mass.
Well, I mean, let's just, all the other radio stations in town have a show, and nobody there is that big. And then going around the TV rooms, I know everybody who works in those.
I think the real fun thing.
K2's got Dave Selesky, who's 6'8".
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. Love Big Dave.
Super nice, though.
I mean, him and Steve Dunn, both bigger dudes.
I think I want to know
both are a little older.
I think a fun question would be like, who could get some chops in between like myself, Dirt, and Luke? Because I feel like the three of us are similar-ish, different body types, but like similar-ish, not very tall, not like yoked dudes. I'm the most timid of the three of them, probably. Could you see like just Dirt get the red in his eyes?
Sprague's the wild card.
Yeah.
Sprague's got the Park Rose in him.
I like to think Rop just like pulls out a shotty and just, the Harrison Ford. Remember Indiana Jones?
The Kansas of it all?
The guy's got the swords and he's like whipping them around.
Just grabs the revolver.
Just pulls it out and blows them away. Yeah. That's how I like to think of my Isaac Rop.
Our team is mopping the floor with the rest of the city.
Yeah. I mean like what about like Calabro and Hurd and any of the backroom guys?
Love Casey. Casey's older.
Casey might have that old man strength, though.
Look, he has.
He feels like a dude that didn't get messed around with.
Casey's got some big hands too. He's got big old paws.
Okay.
I always get the handshake from Casey whenever we see each other, and he's got some big old mitts on him. I bet you back in the day, Casey could hang.
True.
Especially Lamar. Lamar was a free. If you ever want to go down a rabbit hole, go down. I think it's the 2013. Might have been a little bit earlier. Dunk contest. For the old Rip City SummerSlam event, the 3-on-3 tournaments, there's videos of Lamar 360 dunking. Lamar had like a 44 or 45 inch vert in college.
What about the old Learfield Oregon Duck squad? Old Jerry, Jorgie, Joey Mack, and I guess we'd have to throw Dusty Hara into that.
I mean, if Dusty wants to lose, he can hop on that train.
Dusty might be the he might be the man in charge of that crew.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and gas myself up, but of looking around.
I think you already gassed yourself up plenty.
I'm just going to say, looking around the media, how many other guys are actually like have put hands on people?
Not me. I once hit a guy in college.
I know Suk and I have put hands on people.
Yeah. I once hit a guy in college.
But you know what I mean?
But
like,
I knew it was going to break up.
But the whole idea of like, you find out who you are. Like I've always been a big proponent of wrestling and boxing for sports for men because it sorts you out, and not in like the toxic sense. You understand what it is.
Rusty, do you think we could be the you seen the meme of the two girls fighting and there's the dude in the background smoking the bong? I want to be that guy in the fight.
That sounds about right.
Actually, I want Dusty Hera to be that guy in the fight. if it's like us against, Ducks Media, that would be fun.
Well,
that would be fun.
YouTube's not doing you great right now. Wouldn't want Harris, Rust, or Dirt backing me up in a fight. Patrick or Dirt has to ride on the other one's shoulder so they can actually stand eye to eye with someone else. I bet lowercase is good in a back alley fight.
Oh, I'll take lowercase. I'll bet you a new kid Mormon Brandon. I'll bet you that guy can fight somebody.
I bet you can.
I bet you he can. He looks like he lifts.
Good shape.
Not that lifting corresponds with hitting, but
he's
bigger than I am.
Look, Ortner always said he would take on Suk, and Suk gave an open invitation to go roll with him on the mats.
That was the dumbest thing you could have ever said.
Yeah. No, it's different, man. But like, if we are the odds-on favorite in this city,
have to be
odds like we minus 1,500.
Even if you like went down in the first quarter, like I got Jason Sukanik.
Yeah, no,
the man has lost since I've known him. I've known him for 10 years now. The man has lost a considerable amount of weight.
Oh, yeah.
He is a lot thinner than he used to be, and he is 10 times scarier. 10 times scarier. Of like meet him on the street. Now he's a wonderful dude. Yeah. I love chatting with him, hanging out with him, working with him. He's great and a very loving, fun guy. But if you don't know him, that's a scary looking man.
Oh, dude, you kidding me? You see him and you're just like, that guy, yeah, all the Nordic tattoos, big beard, big dude. Yeah, no, there's 0% chance.
Dusty in the background with a mirror? Hey-oh. Hey-oh.
One thing's for sure, we definitely have to go live.
Oh, we'd have to go live.
Go film.
We'll do it live.
Just go film.
Real quick, even if it's just a small, immediate family situation, Christmas dinner has to be traditional type food. Like a ham or a standing rib roast.
Ours is prime rib.
Yes.
That's ours. So we do that every year. Occasionally a ham will sneak in there too if we've got a big group, but prime rib is the Christmas meat of choice. I know some people who do duck.
Yes, I have been in a family.
Look, duck and lamb, both severely underrated. Love them both.
I have done a lot of duck on Christmas in my life.
And not at the Chinese restaurants.
I have done plenty of traditional Christmas food on Christmas. However, I will 10 toes down that you can make whatever the hell you want.
Look,
as this listener points out, you want a taco bar, brother? Get it. Get it.
I am a proponent of the Chinese dinner.
The Jewish Christmas dinner?
I am 100% in on, like, if you want to order Chinese takeout and that is your Christmas deal, I have zero issues with that.
Yeah.
I bet you Christmas is one of the busiest days of the year for most Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it doesn't matter what faith you have, like, people get down with Chinese. You know what some people don't want to do on Christmas? Cook.
Yeah.
And where can you get to-go food?
At most Asian restaurants. My mother once cooked a goose for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And when she reached in the oven to pull it out, my mother didn't cook a whole lot. My father was predominantly the cook in my house. She reached in the oven and pulled out the pan. Bare hands.
Oh.
And she yelled, "Oh my God, the goose is hot," and dropped it. And we spent the night in the ER, and then ate Chinese food. Oh yeah, like skins like ripping off her hands.
Yeah. I did that the other day with a sheet pan of roasted carrots and potatoes. I had blisters on multiple fingers because I'm a dummy.
Oh man, this guy's uncle wants to turn every holiday into a fish fry. Hell yeah, brother.
See, now that one I'm pushing against.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I don't like the smell of fish fries.
All right, when we get back, we'll do closing arguments and send you on your way. A happy edition of 10 Toes Down here on the firm of Harris and Meringue.
The firm of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. I'm loving hearing what people make on Christmas Eve in tradition. I saw some enchiladas. That reminded me when I was a kid, we used to do Totino's pizzas.
The only thing I'm not against so far is a fish fry.
Why? You don't like fish and chips?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, I love a good fish and chip.
It's the smell.
Oh, it doesn't smell bad to me.
Smell.
Well, all I smell is oil and breading.
Mm.
Tartar sauce.
Yeah, see, I don't like tartar sauce.
Dude, you know what's hilarious is I hate mayonnaise and I hate pickles. Tartar sauce, elite.
I'm not a tartar sauce guy.
It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Yeah, it's coming up.
I mean, we were just in Baltimore. How many times did I say I'm like, I'm good?
Yeah, you're not a seafood guy.
I'm not a seafood guy.
You're not a seafood. I thought whitefish would be at least somewhere there.
Well, I can do some whitefish if you throw it in a taco. I'll do some tilapia. I'll do some cod. Good fish taco.
Do you like salmon?
Yes.
See, that's funny because I don't care for salmon.
See, that salmon's like the one seafood that I do get down.
It is a very distinct flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here in closing arguments, some last things to settle up with. Greg Biffle passed away today. As wild as that is, Vancouver's own. The NASCAR driver is a licensed pilot. Crashed in North Carolina. And
make it worse, his wife and kids were on board.
Sounds like his entire family was on board.
Yeah. That's tough.
That's a rough situation.
Yeah, I went to school for professional aeronautics. Random little fact here. Grand Forks, North Dakota, 8th busiest airspace in the world. Because you have the University of North Dakota, which is one of the top aeronautical schools in the world, alongside Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. But you also have Grand Forks Air Force Base and Grand Forks Airport. So you have all of these people are going to school, and what are they flying? Little single-engine Cessnas, Piper Cubs, stuff like that. Those little planes, man, they can be sketchy. Like your single-engine, maintenance. You don't always have X-rays of all your equipment as frequently as you do with passenger airliners. You also have you're more susceptible to weather, and the number of times Kobe Bryant going down a helicopter. Mm-hmm. Guys in my unit, every single one of us was in a helicopter crash at some point in time in our career. Like I think they did it in Zero Dark 30, I think is what the movie was. It was kind of a joke, and I laughed at it. And then I was like, there's a line in there, like there's a new troop in there on SEAL Team 6, and troop commander goes, "Raise your hand if you've been in a helicopter crash." Everyone raises their hand except for the young kid, and it's like, yeah, dog, you're around long enough. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't love flying, and I'm getting worse and worse as I get older. When we're up in the air, I seem to be okay. Coming down, I'm all right. Going up.
Takeoff gets you, huh?
Takeoff gets me.
I was asleep. I didn't sleep much on any of the flights. I was asleep on all of our takeoffs.
Yeah, and so those guys are professionals, and if I get the heebie-jeebs from professionals, let's just put it this way. If I know you, I'm not getting in a plane with you.
I've mentioned this before on air.
Because I don't know any commercial pilots.
Don't ever do this. A buddy of mine, he's an F-22 pilot, is an incredible pilot. His dad was an A-10 pilot in the Gulf War, the whole family of pilots. We did what's called paper chasing, and we were in a Piper Cub single-engine aircraft. And you take a roll of toilet paper, again, allegedly, a long time ago.
Allegedly.
And you drop it out the window and you let it unroll. And you go up, cut the engine, chase it back down, start the engine back up, cut it up, and you just keep doing that. Up and down, stalling it out.
That's such a hard pass, dude. That is such a hard pass.
Well, here's the thing. In order to get rated, you actually do have to do all those things. Not the paper chasing, but you have to recover from a stall.
You have to basically be able to do that.
Yeah. So, because I don't know if you ever, it's terrifying to listen to. I don't know if you ever listened to like black box audio.
No.
Well, no, they play it on the news and stuff like that.
Try not to.
But a lot of times what you'll hear is guys be very calm, because you have to be calm in that situation.
Right.
You have to go through your processes. You have to go through your checks. It's the only way you have a chance.
R.I.P. Greg Biffle.
Yeah, it sucks.
Payne Stewart died in a car crash. John Denver plane crash. John Denver died in a plane crash. Roy Halladay. The Big Bopper, Richie Valens and Buddy Holly. Stevie Ray Vaughan and most of the Allman Brothers crew. Let's see. Otis Redding.
Yeah, a bunch of Skinnerd, too, right?
Leonard Skinnerd.
Tiny planes, man. I'm telling you.
It's a crazy thing. Harrison Ford, he's crashed like 35 times.
Yeah, I mean, if you fly a lot, and especially if you fly in areas, in California where you've got crazy winds and stuff like that, or if you're, Kobe's was a fog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Anthony Richardson cleared to practice.
What was it? It was damage to his eye socket?
Something, I think so.
Was?
I've forgotten about Anthony Richardson because that guy sucks and I'm never going to have to worry about him. So I've given up on him. I wonder if he'll see any playing time. Like if the Colts get eliminated, do they send Phillip back to wherever he is, Alabama, Mississippi, to coach high school, and then Richardson comes in?
Did you see the Colts game this weekend was the highest rated Colts game in the last 5 years?
Really?
Phillip Rivers, baby. Draw the numbers.
Philly Rivers.
Big draw, Phil.
And Tarek Skubal joins Team USA.
Oh.
I'm very, very excited about that. I can't wait to get my Team USA hat.
You mean the Dodgers?
I'm going to get my Team USA hat and support my squad for the World Baseball Classic. That's going to do it for us. One more for the road. It'll be Duck Insider. Duck Insider next. Days. And then Fan Happy Hour, but then it'll be no primetime today. And it will be Seahawks and Rams live from Seattle. That'll do it for us. For Danny Marang, Jeff Rust, I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.